Land that also gave us the hint was, as you know, Sutherland is well known in Ghana because they really were a breeding ground for some of our fantastic players like Asamoah Gyan, like Tony Mensah, like Suleiman Tare. They all passed through Sunderland. So it became a household name, and we've been following them. This season has been particularly good for their re-entry. They've done very well, and we're just praying that they stay on because they've got some youthful players, particularly from Africa. And we saw yesterday how they showed their skills. So we're very happy to be with them, and we had a very good discussion with them on how to collaborate further, and they assured us they will be part of it, and they will visit us in Ghana for us to discuss more.
Na owie no se kofo hu so odi ball mu akotene sa agbo wo bisa sabe ball no amobi na no se ball no ye ball a woje ball huri na wo twadangbashi mpanya na ye boje ne so na ni papa na ka so wu ni made anti medication mu mu hia o mo no na edine be wie senka bia nkobobo.
I'm a footballer myself from childhood. I love playing football. Only in those days it was just for entertainment. And so my dad advised me to rather focus more on education than playing football, which I did. But I kept on from time to time playing up to Parliament. I was part of the Parliament football team, and I played a game between Ghana and the Benin, the Parliament of Benin. And I had that as a young parliamentarian.
Yanko Yanimai, ye free honorable Alban Smara Babin, a honey nano aye democracy cup, and Amate home and Comono, Yenra Henry Asani Chum, Blast House of Ghana, a 27-30th year bo Austria Germany, 2 friendly games na Otuado at the squad nebayeno, and one some idea Ukuswatiana Wutibie was ya nanko for visa Otuado na free partner, what the nepe at the squad nebaya, and Tissa, Ushia management committee no justify 1 by 1 cent here of free player bia.
Oshia management committee justify why these 26 players should go to Australia and Germany. In the second coming, players are within malist on tank and wasem. Adwin to atu ane adwin cheche ne de build your mind. Unfortunately, only sad to me now they make a final decision. I can make an input 1 or 2 here and there, but it ends the backstop with him.
No, so Real Madrid.
I know.
One call him to the quarter final. Last year, even Madrid near Saint-Germain.
It was quarter final. So.
Oh, okay. Next is an answer. Madrid, I quarter. Na I say, and Bayern become him na yenya a very mouth-watering fixture between Real Madrid and Bayern Munich.
And so
very interesting. So Morocco have been crowned the champions of 2025 African Cup of Nations after the CAF appeal board overturned the final result against Senegal. They say nano AFCON boy okay in semesisi nano CAF one more appeal board no coach almost cite articles 82, 83 and especially 84 at the address Senegal cannot continue to hold themselves as champions. To name Morocco or Monaji African Cup of Nations, no. And there are some fines to Morocco and others. So Real Madrid are in the quarter-final stage of this year's Champions League. Omo Ayi, Manchester City are free in a dominant 5-1 aggregate. Bayern Munich expected to qualify tonight and set up a mouth-watering and all experience quarter final. Holders PSG, Egu Chelsea and Nimasi.
yes.
Aggregate saying
8-2 on aggregate.
8-2. When you sure say, Mona Makin Chelsea, a backward semu, Obi Egu Nimasi say that, especially in Europe. Enzo Fernandez cast doubt over his Chelsea future immediately after they were humiliated by PSG. Or he doesn't know what will happen this summer. And Slot and Ned, they also have another big task. It is Liverpool versus Galatasaray.
Yes.
Anfield.
Anfield.
Now, I think that's the match to watch tonight. And Slot could be sacked if Liverpool are eliminated. According to
reporter,
other teams, Arsenal, of course, PSG, Real Madrid, and Sporting CP are through to the quarter-final.
Yes.
Informed Sporting CP. and the Arsenal and everybody in another difficult game for the Gunners. Very, very difficult. Be 5-0 there. Say, your parents and negotiate. I think that's the most difficult fixture at the quarter-final stage. Looking at the result. Anna,
if you want to win Champions League down your sports now, you should be able to beat them. You should be able to beat them.
Obia should be 5-0 here. Can you, if you want to win Champions League?
Bodo.
Okay, back home. The meeting between Asante Kotoko and Asamun Omudega.
That's a report.
Over the transfer of Asante Kotoko and Fija Liberty. Over the transfer of Bernard Somoa ended without a resolution. As Kotoko officials say, Zikanom dia mom na nom de mom. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
However, Liberty are rejecting, insisting that they are looking for 25% of the gross or the net transfer fee. And following that deadlock, Avija have instructed their legal team to formally petition FIFA to demand the entitlement. Oh, they don't know. Wow. Kotoko SC Global Supporters Council has announced the postponement of its scheduled meeting on March 21.
And the Congress,
okay.
This Saturday.
I know my post, but I seem to in a statement issued by regional heads and members of the supporters leadership, the council explained that the decision was taken to allow the broader consultations. Okay. Leadership emphasized that additional time will help to ensure unity, clarity, etc. Communication director of the Ghana national football team. One communication director of Black Stars.
It's a Ghana Football Association or now.
Okay.
Henry Asante Shumana.
Or say ambitions and target, then they were Kasa. Heart of Lions, Sony, Daniel J. Very sure. Omni Hearts, Heart of Lions Hearts on Friday, and they are talking about it. License manager Esme Menz has dismissed that Kotoko did not have a ball when the league started, describing the concerns as unfounded. And was one to go by.
What should say? Last season.
You go fast, I'm buy an answer. The cast a board now. I am go for a Yantia registration and all that.
Yes.
What I say?
Yes.
Well, 9:46. Baba. Nah, mami, oba. Mami, 1 minute. Binami vancha bema safo. Chubwa kodua. Pay. Bema safo chubwa kodua. Kuma umai.
Okay.
No pay. Chiano. Na kuma ufo swada nasi. One. Nana abina se 1.5. Kuma umai himano no. Ani nana no mo kuma u. Nanom. Sama hene, especially my main man in Sanya. Okay. Even Nana obeying the Acheampong.
Okay.
Nana obeying the Acheampong. Wa ben wabona Betty.
Okay.
Say Nana no pay me channel.
Of course.
Honorable MP. Honorable NSC awenim.
Okay.
DC Akwesiama nkwa. Iko ofu nyomo mfrabru chiri. Omo free he chiri ne benche ba ma. Yitwa papa afi. Ekoye baba all aspects ekoye said the nanano here na ne bae from the lunch to football nje ka say the kotokobeko
of course
kotoko so bae kotoko bass na bae na kotoko players team there's that cap no kuma umaje a free symposium ekoti asante ka Sometymer bema oni Sometymer bema
minimum Sometymer
bema ene bema chubu akodua Sometymer nyina ka say bema ne be ma chuba kodia baba aso betia from the commission of the community complex there were walk floats.
Okay.
Nina the nipa not less than 15,000. And 90 years so videos nibia. You can see traditions at play. Papa ground so maybe.
Me monitor bi on.
Yeah, mema se ko.
Some can say enye azumina kama betwa bi.
Oh ma bi anu atofom.
Me. Ah boss.
Mema.
Kama kwa kutwa bi.
Ready pam.
We.
Fekeke. Regional minister ne. Omu nyina baby. Entertainment no nim. Chama Shatawale ni medical fast.
Yes.
In front of over 20,000 people.
One of the best artists in the call.
Ampa. Chia. There was a dinner on Monday, dinner kasiye.
Okay.
Tended by Manson Kwanta Hine Manson Kwanta Hima Nefe.
Okay.
Ntia do biasi kwesi ya rebeko Thanksgiving okumawu. Ako dasi. Eweza ako. Baba. Yeah, said it here now for so. Arsenal kona nimba almost share the most difficult game against Sporting CP. And no, I won't say Zemo.
Yeah, the last stop.
They can right now. Me say
married for a last stop.
Say PFA player then they no Bruno. And go for see a car we bobo so na no abako. Bobo ako no abase we PFA players so ma create den there. O dey chire omo buy be shi omo ho na.
Adia David Beckham.
Ma di kan rice ne. Raya mo ne ye friend say Gabriel Moye no. Na people so jeju omo so say
Gabriel.
Na Gabriel Magalhaes, there's no defender in the world today. No defender. Boba Akudin. The best number 5 in the world at the moment. Okay, Udi actually
Rudiger, yes.
Rudiger. Say Pep Guardiola no. Well, who's why mistake na referee for so I say
referee
card in penalty.
Oh, the card. Enti anopay yema special good morning BM na yema kwaba eya Oyerepa 100.7 FM live on Oyerepa TV ye konko fonkroso and somewhere edi adenchechena ebu fumpa onko fonkroso no yere hunsem ato ne nsem na de edoso enano pay de disefata se ohwe na utie ana yede esum wo kitikiti man polibi ana akansuo yanom akabunu pa anopay ye tu ebu ase confirm mununu nyina amawo ewo jumade so on socials no so Oyerepa Radio, Oyerepa TV Ghana, Oyerepa Radio, and I say Oyerepa TV Ghana. Na washa comment me ba na the boss player atuno boase akinkanina ete ama serious and said fatam on the broad wings of Boshaba electricals and high sense mesasiam ede afi abibrem ha Didier Tabri Droba or the atujam or say Morocco for and they omuchem say hey aji afcon and the moment was say enum guasem way and see bia Africa ha and a disgrace to Africa. I was a cap of form a giant sunny mana woman so do money official statement or the abam was say what happened has gone too far. This is not the football we fight for, not the African we believe in. There is too much corruption in our game and it's killing the passion of millions of fans across the continent. And Sadio money on Samoa or the above some only the Taranga Lions of Senegal. Now for Amote Afconum and Otem say Musimoje Afconum and the free and Samoa. The Americans where they are quarter do now when in football, anyway, and you're fighting for anyway, and Africa, you did it, and to ready and what am African football, and to and confirm calling him Same Masri at the Atujam was say, I'm not the office, and we here be a Nankampo, Afconum, Yadabam, Morocco, then the question game no cry, Rofino. Twasu biem na osen komo fi park no so a no apon nanka Morocco form our kwaje trophy na di kwan se awie game no and yasema nasri and so ati atudam and na anopay and 10 times so enough of that yamra 2026-2025 UEFA Champions League. On say round of 16, second leg results and then yasam kitwaka na Arsenal etime ebono day ewenea against Leverkusen twana kamienua ba 0-4 Leverkusen and time anti ekarmobiem on aggregate nom aya 3-1 on aggregate and Arsenal eti a qualify na Leandro Trossard edi atujam se go na ebereti eze eshenom egwa omunim so tasem e training grounds oye ho adwuma e training grounds na anya babia Arsenal pe and then that quarter finals amatim adurom babia Arsenal epese odu and the ultimate enti amokon match after match omo happy with Equia France nom e fa so eta womachem na Mikel Arteta e boss Emma Arsenal or say Nanyanje Papa with Enram a performance the boys in the likes of Declan Rice the likes of Ebereti Ezenom a Montima Rantelum a boy a Soraniba Papa na or say when Emma Debia Emma on the Debia believe in continuous improvement sir a Motimbona woman then Dino Otnam one more game biba and I say actual na only supporting Lisbon and able the next round and I say a very different game na in football say ultimate by being France and say dominant from Kasa team where they was team where they onyade enti amode eduru games are honum one bon kakra Carabao Cup final wo English Premier League matches so FA Cup near the dinina matches are all trying say and couldn't jam ebetime akọ ede amamo Declan Rice midfielder ede Emma Arsenal or say adia weapon kese Emma Arsenal afi consistency of the team and yes be a so na dum bia Arsenal ejana ejiasom na boa ama eneme koye ede ama womom ba of Leverkusen coach Gaspar Jumant edi atujwa sir too many errors and ama ba for Leverkusen and team ankle him ahead of Arsenal na errors no Dawson the better side Arsenal and omshoma eka yenum na amantime antibie another humiliating results at Chelsea and in the Champions League Paris Saint-Germain qualify ahead of Chelsea 8-2 on aggregate and ready masa na ensuo bu ultimate ensuo na bu no mama so yes bruta na after a game and Luis Enrique at the atujwa say na onimsam na top game na obibusa na say enkebia about 8-2 on aggregate advantage Paris Saint-Germain and wanje team na marante modembom the turning point and ye sa ultimate fixture be say na when convincingly say at the confidence one Emma boys na confidence level etimi ekosoro kwala scale at the atujasa adiana ehia enra and some metimi qualify omo France omo romo England ngina omo domon komo yense 5-2 fie mama me frimo was set me qualification abam omo ye happy sir amatimi qualify Liam Rosinoa of the Achopa at the Chelsea France no or say Chelsea deserve more than the enra boys na at the Emma wom owie and ochem sir ombeko back na fe niema anko yinom ama correcting na fe team nom etimi akon de akonanim say the only router I likely say betimi etoma ko Europe bia FA Cup no matter now I mean Korea na so after sa omudi enkugo against Paris Saint-Germain and on same Nyamiano Ukraine amoye dombe bia they kept on running and there was a be team na visa enya omude se enra na ombetime go through Liam Rosinoa reaction after say Chelsea FA UEFA Champions League enye.
Yeah, really difficult night, giving a goal away so early in a tie when we knew realistically we needed to score the first goal. Just took the wind out of our sails and it gave them more energy and more confidence, and then they've scored some clinical goals in the two legs from outside the box. Nothing Rob can do about them, and it became a really difficult night and one we have to move from very quickly. No, not just that. In terms of, if you look back at the goals, they're either great.
Now Enzo Fernandez or a player and Chelsea or say we on from wada bia adia ama Chelsea entime and qualify ahead of Paris Saint-Germain fixture the last game boy before game and random the first leg of France the last 15 minutes they were poor and ama Chelsea entime and qualify Thiago Pitat Meba City and Madrid game on Pep Guardiola and Alvaro Arbeloa abon back to back Washano Spain and Robinson England na abusiam akodaba kwa wo bia bona baso enya Thiago yenya udeni uyebue ni din ene Thiago Pitat Pina na enra akodane jamfinfi against Manchester City on your report TV Thiago Pitat Pina onom La Fabrica Kodana masa they say amount for say Morocco pe Spain for say masa akukuduo ne awon dinyansa na otibo bone de yehiawo enti akodanom na ada screens no 45 shattered nom medal to some Alvaro Arbeloa at the atujasem no cranie a prospect of facing Bayern Munich in a quarter-finals obianim say yebetwan ne Bayern be bawie na fi atwese amom and Madrid ne be hia and say Atalanta or say ope club some ya dem e wo wiase ontimi nyi Bayern Munich and film na Madrid Real Madrid Alvaro Arbeloa e wieyem and say Brahim Diaz amazing in the two legs no nyina mo say day say Kylian Mbappe obe replace on nebom Brahim Diaz eben we juma in terms of say or tracking back abebuam players no afa technique skills ninaeboy ema anima koye enti ema team Thiago Pitat Pina say akoda say na o static games enti ema Madrid no masa sa dewe na kukuduo no fa no he and os manager na o coaching ni secret no Alvaro Arbeloa na secret no and yensma owura no enti etudwam na still on video section no Madrid after say amoche Manchester City mo adwuma eka mienum ema amote mu ba kumbra na plus ne efi Etihad Stadium na eda screen so a anopay yede ema wo na wo say niema nyina totomu a Champions League no Madrid betimi agem amano ayeye Vinicius Junior say onim team bi obabia say on a good day obetimi atete Madrid in a Champions League you ready for Bibian or Bompire say the likes of Jude Bellingham nom the likes of Kylian Mbappe nom ebe full fit emra omone Bayern Munich and say Atalanta ebe bom eno ensema efi Vini na so ye etoja anopay was it we gave everything Bibian na was ye game yeah. Pep Guardiola, manager, Manchester City.
Yeah, it's just the feeling. What would happen, 11-11. That is just the feeling. So it's difficult with 4-0 down, with 10 against 11. But we give everything.
Yeah, what is the feeling about your team tonight, having played 3/4 of the game with 10 men?
We have an extraordinary team, an extraordinary group of players. The future is bright. But a little bit is learning, but that is learning 11.
Na Alvaro Arbeloa manager Emma Madrid Chemsa na mantere motimbom eko na nimpapa na niaso de mantere etim yenti Alvaro Arbeloa.
I think, as I said yesterday, it's the players who turn this situation around with their performances, their attitude, their effort, and of course their talent and quality. Winning the way we did here today is not easy. It was a very complicated tie against a team like this, with so many talented players, such a deep squad, and a coach like the one we were up against. It was not easy at all. In fact, I think very few people would have said we were going to win.
Abusia, Mamen Trent Alexander Arnold, and also I say it was nice to get over them. Sir, yetimi ayi City at the FM nkaka performance no e cost the expecting no.
It's the most important time of the season. I think these are the important games. Every game's a kind of a cup final now, but I've said before, there's an expectation when you join the club to go far in this competition and win it. And I think everybody knows that the Champions League is embedded in the identity of the club. So there's an expectation, and we thrive with that, and it brings the best out of us. Yeah, not only that, but young players who've stepped up as well. I think Mami tonight, Thiago as well tonight, and also last week put in incredible performances. But a club like this.
Abusia and one game I'm on for the Newcastle United oko Spotify Camp Nou and Barcelona at the abweni na unsasa game at 5:45 p.m. na Barca a concern about over 10,000 Newcastle United fans are almost trying to say Spotify Camp Nou Hans Flick say a gamer on to 2 game na say on Kasa Newcastle United I you know mukobo 1-1 I'm crying on my head any pedigree beer our champions the month first assembly show mutrim I was I'm fighting not for qualification woman sa etime eka or say Nick Votamade of Newcastle United on Tisa Alexander Isak there na so on our player a better afaso upon a show at any point in time on any difference I am who Edgeman and I Hans Flick on Nick Votamade na bodo game to forum amount for set and ra not way disappointing I'm a trainee Ora Maxon na I say our Sporting CP are the best in the next round.
First of all, it's an amazing good team, tactical and mentally they was ready for everything today. A really strong team. How they play, they switch the distance between the players. How many players who running behind our defending line, they were gaining play. It was high level for Sporting today. It's first time in the 1.8 final for us.
Now Sporting Lisbon for the Niger Pan day. Yeah, video no. Bon Sporting Lisbon come back after say a boat of phone one jumano. Massa, I need Japa, Nanya some to players in celebrations and a gusua, which be an opedia metis here. And it's a binding Munich and monitor the situation of Elliot Anderson. Sir, that Tibianum, Nottingham Forest, Ambefanum in the summer of Juma at the Amatin Rafa Palladino, or no manager Emma Atalanta, or say or recover from 5 goals. A huge mountainer, Massa, a Nyakunketwa, Nemum, a football, they will fight. Galatasaray, Massa, Amani Abrio, Amawo England, and our Anfield 8 p.m. And I give no Ebasuna, our England no. And dear fans on the ANU, Oyerepa Radio, where Galatasaray fans are to Liverpool, Chomoto Bill, Kabakwa, Omanti Anti, Amaba England, Meduye, the Omoyem, our England, and a da screens no swa, who should be an pay, equal to do, and also Eco J, our Riyadh Metropolitano, Emra, how many Atletico di Madrid, Eco Boyem, or say they'll try to do something and then some run at the Atuja and a slot to say so Oyerepa TV now shall dinner dasuna HSA and else Anfield supporters no so sorry now I'm number 12 at the Emma Club of course pressure number the qualification there I was team num and on this note live on Oyerepa 100.7 FM live on Oyerepa TV and I pay the amount for Mansun Semnum Esuha now for boss player any team num at Transi and the Kenya at team at on today's post now show me live our Facebook pages and also Oyerepa Radio Oyerepa TV Ghana Osha commentate na bibia etimi akoye at the amount you team come on with ABA Herbal Clinic ko ABA Herbal Clinic ho na ya dena transfer aye kwankro ya de na aye ni ya de kese atranso na wani no masa ade na ya dene o wan hweye na kwakwa sedwin so a da chede asembeba entitiawa aye ABA Herbal Clinic ehona oko enti miniaba good morning say be fine anopay ebetio
ebetinya since Friday move with you ya no
ene Wednesday right ene Wednesday nyankopon boa ene nwumre mpinifo ebehwehwe moon no so mo site moon na ochina ebe ya sorry yan site moon na nwumre a Thursday ebe fasting we Thursday Friday ebe ya sorry
okay nti ene ebe ba beje yeah you know
you're into
me da sinti ABA Herbal Clinic ase na se do aborai ye bedi ho nkomo na uti ABA pa ni wa hunu se eye wani ho nsam na ye ba beka wani ho nkomo na ye ba bedi na no pa mi bi so se wani net sen wani na ho hede huna de ya se test so ase wo huna de ya da no wa dwendwene awia ba obi e kwa ye tempenten kwa obi ani abere o kwa obe wani ninti wintimi mpie nkwa abonten enu nti na no pa ye se brandity ya asama ne ba be ka fa ABA heba ho no se fa ho a e fa wonua bi ho a enya na bro no waje number ne ntem so e de ama ne se de be yo ba be pie mu ABA heba clinic ya so ye ho no mo ne yesusu ya je brasa nipa ne yare ama na koma ato ne yam ABA heba clinic nkwa na wo ba de be e ka se ye mfa sekan ka wani e wo ya so ye ho ye nhya wa hwehwani wa e wo ya so ye ho no mo sa na ye mfa aduro nso emu wani so e wo ya so ye ho enti bomodin na bra ABA heba clinic na ye nsa wo yare wani na achemato abaso na e ma wonhu na de yie no e ye glaucoma e na e ha wa na se ete e na esi wani no so bomodin na bra ABA heba clinic e be boa etu ase e de ama wa wonhu na namo ebiem e wo ni paduem e ya na de bia betena ha na ye ka ABA heba clinic asem obi o hon ma ye ne se heba no kra bunti wote asem na onhu se ogie di anase onyinie na so de bia na ye ka cha wo se ABA heba clinic asedan ka twedi amponyankopon se de bia ye bo ho dawuro no obi o hon ma oba ya so ye hon ma ye number no cheche saa esan saa dance na wonye ne twa so de mani nua bi na ni nua bi nso so bagya ya resa ne bi efri ye hon mo eni ya de ehu hia pa enipa kwa na efri ye ti bepem ya pa ye mo werase no ni nyina ya de ehu hia ho kan ya na asetena na edi ma ye na emom wani de eye wo kaneo wani ye nipadua ni nyina kanea ye de nam a ye kwa ye ba wona bebo ade mu a wani na ehuna ade ni ye nti na wona akobɔ mu enti se wani ni fra na se tesusu ni ekoye operation a eya na adwendwene na dɔso ye pa ewe ya brabo mu enti ma me papa me nua wutie me enne de ya wote ye nka ABA heba clinic ya fato ye ho se efi ye ti bepo ye mora no ne de eniema ye ti mi sa yale esa ne aso ye ho de dɔso pa ne mo ye speciality anka se ye ho adwuma eye ani ho safo na obo ade nyankopon de adom yen se wani ne mfa ho ni se de sitie obi si mani ne madada mu mfie duo me de mani ne ba me so acho mani ni fra ya ache ye se de asai no de ohun ni se ni da so anim no de ohun ni se we de asai me de kwa enye ye no obi ohun ni se ma me dadam papa dadam me nua ba dadam we de ni da so anim biem no eno na ABA se fabra ose fabra ya so ye ewo kuma se kwada so dwena ase maame wo de pe obi no mfa wo mra me nua wutie me o maame no oda dem no bo mode ne fa ne bra na yenya so ye wona abepie mo ho no ma wo hu mre wafo anka so mu di lai o mo begya ya wesa na ase dan ka twedi amponyankopon so mo ba ya so ye ho na wotwe na wotwemienu ombra ba begye adrum ne nya obi na kita na wode ne ba na poma na kita no wato acheno no kasa na etutu tatai eba ya so ye ho ABA heba clinic niema ye no aso ye ho no eto de bia ya na doctor fo aka se yetena konwam kra na ye nwanwa esan se niema ye no bradwe ne ntiase so eya handro kroje ne de sayare wo ho yenko na etimi bowra kwa ya bretuom kopan han de bafie doctor say ontena ho ma wani ni kanea ne endum ontena ho nhye se wo bada dem abere wo nhuna de enu nti wa redal wani ni mo pa obowra kwa ya bretuom kopenuro no ode abafie ode bafia de wose wesima ne ye powder no wasia me na ye powder hye nso se ye ma wadu ade kogu wani so e wo ye hospital honti no oba ye wose nubra ne ma obi na saudi kofi a wa wo de beko no akohye ni dido ukono wa ade di nsu agu ho na wo nom kwa akoye etiri ni mo dwuma ayenti ni mo dwuma na ahohuru wani ni so ya mama bi a wani ni so afiri ho de ama eni te ye glaucoma pa na ha wo de a ni safan ekita ABA heba ma me papa mi nua ba wutie mi nua ba ma entena fie nkasa duro bia ni honom na wo ma ABA heba clinic ya so ye ho wo de brane be hye brane be so ye hwese de sin ye adwuma no na be ka se na sa na omutimi ya mane buru so se na metena fie sa ma akoma so ye ho ntami intigra koma na kwa koduru sen wani na fra kora wo nhuna de bra ABA heba clinic wo kuma se kwada so dwena se so na wani no glaucoma ni bi o ha ebe ebo nka ye hinterfryer no eno eba bi o ha ebo nka obi so o pa mo nka ye kra eno no obi o ha ma wa asa no pe ne na ne nam ho ye ne na ekọ na ebo ono akwa ne dwale mofra do mu ko school na so ade echi no pe ne ni efra waka dem mo enu ne ye hintefa ne glaucoma no enu ntu pepie mu ebie hereby e bebo etu ase dia mam ebi ho no ma glaucoma na eba ema hint bi ma hu ni se glaucoma na eba wuti fa betimi adwaw aya wo yapa na obi ho na akọ painkiller bi no wanom within 5 minutes 10 minutes na sanso ba eye glaucoma na eba okoko no abi so ho no ma wani so yokusukusu asa abosia pagu wani ni so eye glaucoma na eba okoko no enu nti bomodi wani ni so asententan wo so wo hede nhuna de ye obi ho hwe TV ko hede nhu nipa na otiso ni ye obi ho no mo so so wotia fomotia ne bro ye ne sanhwe ne na abepem ade mu eye glaucoma na eba okoko no ma me papa wantu ho na montama ma ABA Herbal Clinic amechi ye dro nwanwaso ha dro kwaja ye mfremu a wani beba ho so na de wato dem enu ti bo ho madi ne bre kuma se kwada so dwunase ne bra na beji aduro free ye hono mo se de ebe ya won so ebe boa na wanya ahoden akwakoye adwuma akwanim ewa abrabom enti ABA Herbal Clinic de wo ba ya so ye hono ma enema ye timi ye no eye bebrebe enti wo ba ye beboa na ya hyew ama won so ho atimi atọ na akwakodi udwuma ewa abrabom enti bo ahomaden na be pie mu ABA Herbal Clinic ya so ye hono mo hyane so say ye wokuma se kwada so dwunase ye wokuma se kwada so edwunase kuma se kwada so dwunase na ye di edwuma enti ba bia wo bia no oba ma ne nya wadwonto obi ho no ma oba ye ne se kwan wa da bia meka ne se mpanyimfo se kuro bi wa kuro bi to aso enti ma ne nya wo se ba bia wo fra wo ba na wo kwan wa ano pepe ni be hwo wo na ye fin kran Cape Coast o ma fi takra de takwa ne mpata mu ababedu kuma se be gia yaresa enu nti ba bia wo a wo te ye nka bia no bra ABA Herbal Clinic wo kuma se kwada so dwunase ho no mo na ye wa ye bo adwuma dendenden oba Dr. Jibre Sisi na so ye ho no mo fefefe wudru ho no ma wutimi sampa ye purely herb anka say ye adwuma ye mfa bibia emfra ye duro ni mo enti say ye radio na wutie ye na ye wo kuma se kwada so dwunase kuma se kwada so edwunase market no achi hwa kuma se kwada so dwunase market no achi hwa ene kuma se branch ne ye wo okodoma ahinkro nso ye wa pie kubi cold store ebna da dwom omochi ho no ma ne ye wa ye di adwuma enti ginamba ne frɛ doctor ne ni ye ni nkomo doctor me ha wuni me pesa me ba bia ne ma bi se na esimi kwane hu kwan be fa so ebeboa wo hyane so se ye ntimi nso aye ho mfa ma na ye so ye ntimi mfa aduro nso emma no esan se ye nye magician nti wo ba ne ato ye bo ase de machines na hwehwe wani no ehunu o haw na ewo so ne ama wo abibidura mo age akwakoye aduro ne na aboa enti ye number na edidi dwuma ne ye 0541 56 51 99 0541 56 51 99 MTN ba kun say 053 17 80 651 053 17 80 651 ye voda ne ye anasa telecell no eye 050 28 12 161 050 28 12 161 ABA Herbal Clinic ye number didi dwuma ewo ya so ye ho na medi ama wo eye te na asi wani ni so ne ye kwakoye operation ete ni ewo de epie ni so ene ewo de epie ni mu se asi wani ni so ne ye se kwakoye operation ti oyam hyehyw obi ate operation na ye machine kuma to yem bra ABA Herbal Clinic be ma wadura ebe kwakọ na na ete ni nyina yi ni nyina fi wani ni so a oho beto eni na awotwemienu na awotwemiensa na ni nyina fi wani ni so kra bi nso ane wani ni akoye ba ko operation dada ni fane ne ye ya wo ye de be babo nkum no so esan so bi ho ba ya so ye ho no ma wase doctor ya ye ba ko operation no nenso aba ba ko no so ani bra ABA Herbal Clinic ne ma waduro wanti ye nkantem ne de seka akoka wo enu nti ABA Herbal Clinic wo ho se be boa ne ya boa mo waduro am na kwakoyi ete ne nyina afiri wani no so eye bibiduro krojin bibiduro ne de be ma na ne powder form no wo de kwakofra waduane ena no pe edin abedi wukenke bi ni increment still bi kakra ho anase obedi amu bi anampesie bi anase amu bi na obedi ano ne se wo de eye aduro ni bi befra wo the first two na kade bi e ka ho odi aduane na de afra enti wo de akwakoye nipadua ni mutiri mu adwuma na eyo haw ni nyina firi wani no so sanso na dido ne de ba ma no so no wo kwa kwahye no wanom enti bra ebi heba clinic ne ma obi bidro kraje a bia mfra mu ne fa kodi wadwuma ne fa koye wani ni so adwuma na mbo na so timi ko wanim e wa abrabom tina wo mani fa yare ne count wo de bia na me ka kira wo se wani ni fra o how beba wo susan said de obeso mu kra de oba ye bie no eya na eya asema mo obi o ha oba wa se de na ode me beba kra wo ha wo oba pa was listen man tamfo ne de na ba ye bie heba me se de de ni to drop him ne de ne ba ni pa ni be hwa ni hura wo wururi e wo yaso ye ho no mo enti say ye hepatitis B so na e ha wa bra ye bie heba sanso so na e ye pressure e na e ha so bra ye bie heba e ye low pressure na high pressure oba bebo HIV mu aso agi ni padua na ba so a ni nyina ye tenete e wo yaso ye ho ye wo kumase kwada so dwunase kumase kwada so dwunase ene ye wo eye kumase kwada so dwunase edwane chi ho no ma ne wo a ye di edwuma sanso na oba eye doman yunkron se wa pie ku bi coastal branda dwom na chi ho no ma ne wo ye number ne ye 051 56 5199 0541 56 5199 and that's 053 17 80 651 053 17 80 651 your voda ne 050 28 12161 oba abaji card 50 Ghana cedi na ya show ama waduro kama na da kwa bra ebie heba no wajem so senya mensa ewu
oba pa yedase ebie heba fo ena ote omu enka eno na yeba na yetwa ho kakra bi eba djumadie no ebeto aso ede amamo na yekọ president chako ne president heba toothpaste omu ase na yedi nkomo ewo ho na wa bra ye didi no eya na mpempi mekase aduane no ekohyehyɛ yasin mebane sa eya na eja eye 2DK ebane sa eja gum disease na mpempi ni so ya na ema enkene free anu mu ba no enye de eye papa enkrofo be pe so be ni edi enkomo na o the president echusia fluoride any unique combination of natural charcoal lemon mint and zinc ewomu enti eboa ema oseno eye fe eboa ema no enya ahoden eboa eyi bad odor and a free eya wanum ed ema president asem na meka ere achoyo president about toothpaste so and so green tea about extractor ye dia ye ntinema cooling sensation na face so protected ogams no edem free eya yade bia anasem reyo bia no eho president Ghana Dental Association ajatum say no ena eye president every smile matters. Amen Scientific Hospital Brian say stroke yade awo honsem ene yade kwankro bia no yebetu ase ede ama ye ase na oba umfa stroke no ensan enkobiem awo no oba yede aduro kanwa obewo ena yade na atel so ache oba yede obehye ya fidie ni mebefriu na yi yade kro no ede apie yade ni pia onu a yede beka amoanya ayaresa 24 different certified medications ede aje ede atum oba Amen Scientific Hospital yo kuma se atwema tachiman kwada so fancy ekwan so ena yewo enche boga wa bibia ni akra takra de tamale atebubu nkoko sunya ne ho sa hwede bi so ena afi ho nyina ba obenya branches ho for 0277 001234 0277 001234 Bosomtwa Bank PLC ebo ama esikasem aye kama na ejina bran no mo he ese sika bebe kotokom na dwumadie bi aye di no yetumi edi enunti ena omo ma esusu loan micro group loan salary loan agriculture loan and for business and commercial loan Bosomtwa Rural Bank PLC de ebe and say ye kohonoma ye could be a savings account, current account, fixed deposit, susu savings, ye be a joint account, kiddie account, a special account. Now oma my loan be Bosomtwa Rural Bank PLC head office kontinase other branches of Kumasi and Sometymer ebu atonso agogo jachi koko futre da hinema kokoben edwuna se ebu akwa atonso bokura putoja magazine afiakobi ena abinchi market for Bosomtwa e was 0508 6427 0508 642705 Bosomtwa Bank PLC expert in unit banking ensuo no eya hodo mienu your alkaline water your acidic water the onomu a ede nkwa ene ahoden bre nipadua no alkaline water
ni nyina ne se alkaline water no me pa cho ya to ye boase pa ena ye de nsuo yi afan fidie mu ena asone so kama kroje enu nti ena onum alkaline water wu se we kanje de no pH no e wo soro pa na onum kanje nsuo no ewo ni padua ni mu a ebo ni padua no papa enuane bebraya ye di anwa adosu wo mu acid adosu wo mu temo vegetables cry di no ni dodo na eso mu de dro na ehye na udi sa nuane na kɔ ni padua nim na ɛkɔ hawpe na nom alkaline water na kɔ na change nuane ni state na yi acid no e de afri ni padua nim se de be ya onso benyam enkwa enu nti na nsuo de onom a ɛwɔ so onom de papa enkwa nom acidic water bia na yade ne ba ebe ba betena acidic water no eno na do so adwaman so papa no kangen energetic drinking water Bolivar okidney no akoma oban kangen energetic drinking water Bremen UGC Tafuni Road Abaru Junction Lazy Hotel Santasra about Pakiki ewo stadium na Sumankwani Junction ewo Ashton for 0241 44 9191 0241 449191 and a 0507 37 9474 Apomodin Herbal Clinic Apomodin Herbal Clinic ena okoma soye eni yade no okwa ombehwe no maye ni kama ede ama wani no ebehu ade bi se ya eni yade na fe na eba na sa betan so mpo a okwa omobehwe ese wani no ebebie na bibia e kama abehu ade kama ebe wewe akire obehu nya fe na akenkan a na o se enkofa hwenu abim na onefa hwe na nsa no akan eya na stress ebre okọ apomodin a ombe wani no ho adwuma kama blood pressure ulcer hernia gonorrhea candidiasis waist pain and afi goiter eye kompo okọ ho ani nyino betu ase e di amount me wacha apomodin kuma se sofolite soldier for kwan so woman assemblies of god asori no na edian me from e was 0551 098961 0551 098961 ene apomodin enkasa se die phone aba obia epebia yusu eno ena ye phone papa maka cho se phone no e wo ho bebre ebi wo ho kra wo to a o de kasa onte kasa no minima kwa bi wo ye officer de bia onya kwa no de ato last speaker ni nyina ne se ne phone ni speaker ne kra emunye de akwa oba adwuma onfa charger ma o charge ne phone be se 5 times ansa na day no ayende e basa wankasa wo ha ho phone de uyusu a e wo so onya phone a papa phone a wo charge a ne battery eche phone a ebia wo tu kwan e de free nkran abese atwam akotamale na wo take mu a ube use phone na battery no ube du tamale na ataka be se 60 or 70% eno ena phone papa no Infinix Smart 20 meba cho u use Infinix Smart 20 a o ya assured of durability o ya sure say value na odi chese sikana odi koto phone ubenya eso emfaso na Infinix Smart 20 no meba cho ukoto a yo 64 gig ROM and 4 gig RAM and 128 gig ROM and 4 gig RAM eno ene boamas phone ni speed ekosro pa eye adwuma kama maka wan asem se ema pure voice technology o kasa nipa no aso ogira onchen emu da ho papa na ne battery no 5200 milliamps per hour ho odene papa o charge phone na afebo bi wo kra 2 days 3 days na on emfa NC charge o per phone and screen no o don sa fa so asesi a na ekwa Infinix Smart 20 ebi mo de o don sa boss o ade no kra na touch no yes o touch sensitivity den the Infinix Smart 20 no eno a solid phone e be boa powerful performance o di juma e brebia anyhow very very affordable ne bo no enso e wo fontino say de o ko je phone je Infinix Smart 20 Infinix the future is now. Bash digital satellite decoders for football lovers who operate game center bejibi and na ubenya matches ni nyina e de amom beba ho amom ahwebi hotels bejibi o install edema TV sebo hotel wa program bia obi obeda hotel ho no opa he no ba obenya bia he guest houses mususa restaurants and afi individuals mo ba e mam decoder ni bi e kwa installation amam yewia nya recharge at the akamo packages no very 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 affordable Abripo Junction ship mu eho and a Bash digital satellite yewa yedi yejuma friend 0200 05 0848 0200 050848 ne anyo so grow fine herbal tonic emoja dro numbi ubedi ye numbi obeda kama onumbia ebeboa ama onipadua na sisi ne ho so ne nya ne se ntini no ebe ya adwuma moja no ebe nantiye ewo nipadua no emu onum grow fine adura emanity to esiesie mu nsebu ho problems nyina ede mamo de munimo obi obu ne nsa o how p ene wa chi obi okra ne de ebe bosomi miense mai bosomi na enum mai what one him so we there normal me kra menya o nam na o jese o sepel ho nti no menses ne man e yode no grow fine na menses no emra vitamins a nipadua ni hia de beye adwuma na afi nipadua na nya ahoden no e grow fine mu ena ewo misia ba ko na ke ba smart ba afi fredman sapidam pure leaf and afi chemical shop ba shop obenya grow fine adro ni bi na wato grow fine digital bar clinic kuma say I'm a run about a ho and I do do pan 0244 596 532 grow fine makes you grow fine. Augustine Marble Stone a deal in marble stones and no NIDA project no crack, no painting, no plastering and fast stress and to so wa bra oye project no o swimming pool o wall o tiles afei houses, schools, churches ni nyina bejo Augustine Marble Stone ni bi na oba ye de anim di fo beka ho na oma kwahyehyɛ ne kama ede ama takwa ene kuna junction e wokumase ho ena yewa edi adwuma frɛ 0540415616 na oneyen akasa edek SMBTS eno enene yegyina so na yede awie sisi yare low sperm count and a premature ejaculation edek SMBTS a year free or wabra peja watinkem no tumino who kani edi inshemu and no enda emprebebre na watwinim bosomi numeno and ema ware ne so ani jebe fi edek SMBTS herbal shop chemical shop ubenya bi na wato o pedodo afre edu eba clinic 0243 989 368 and 0201 044 221 na edek SMBTS edrono also wanya bi na bibia aye kama ede amount. On that note, first batch LPMs ye the SC show no etwaso ede amount live on Oyerepa 100.7.
Solo, thank you.
Boss.
Thank
Okay.
you, thank you. That's it.
All right.
Okay, so do your by J Kofi Ajiman, Hackman, Shipman or say and no more kahun na yenhwe yendi few messages alaji zakito akwaba alaji e pro amam for say undeserved sa title no but me feel say we dey nya dey bia was bia we hu adwuma actually be very fine
I'm so to them come up half for na
o say calf ado my day na some the mrana aye
okay just
what kind mrano
to my kind but okay justice I'm a fair commission I see too much technical knowledge without home wisdom destroy cases
but so your judge you were expected to provide or apply both
your new maybe or how you look at the external damage and we are critical. It can be a huge fine.
Oh yeah, yes, I know you with you. Because who apply Mrano on a common sense at the same time.
Very necessary.
But the Mrano there you cannot go beyond it. I've not read the numbers. If you have read,
no, I've read it.
They were 82,
almost
83, 84.
Oh, you be with time.
Okay. All right. So Anane Ewo Kunsu Kodokrum or said London is red. And Anani again, or Chelsea, Adani Sibe. Again, watching the show here, Starboy is saying, I say congrats to PSG for the victory picture. And picture, Eduya Oba Ejese or Chiayen from Nana Club. Please, let's read messages on the related to sports. No, no, so, Shipman say, I must commend my team Arsenal for that spirited performance. Okay, then Oyibo Boateng say good morning. The truth must be told. CAF decision against Senegal concerning the recent AFCON competition is a dead case. Dishonesty, unfairness, and so on. Ajima visit 10 matches, 9 wins, and a draw. That is sensational. On and on and on. Yeah. Okay. So bad. Yentiwe.
So and right, UEFA Champions League matches ne baso. Na people were hoping for a miracle, especially in England. And an amount for sure him say in society bit me about whether Manchester City or Chelsea.
These teams are falling.
I bet me about
it's like
it's like Namzotonia 2 out of 8 to cross any about. A competition for all European nations.
But who argument say tiredness near the
no, that is not a solid. That is not a solid argument.
I'm say one like to cry ready be what I say. I'm the PSG, for instance, were exempted from play over the weekend.
That's true.
And so they almost they protect your team.
Sporting crown, so that's true. But even if England not 2 out of the 8 teams.
But would they get 2? Only like so many.
Liverpool at home against Galatasaray with a 1-goal defeat there.
And nobody knows. Newcastle, I don't think they'll survive.
Yes, I don't see Newcastle. After your ball first matches New Year now, I was emphatic say one. Chelsea is not qualifying. Manchester City is not qualifying. And I had my reasons. Point number 1. Manchester City don't have a team at the moment. They have promising talent. But as a collective unit, City need that Arsenal. This is a Manchester City with a dysfunctioning defense, a midfield that is struggling to control and create. 2 things from Pep Guardiola's midfield. They control, they create, and they dominate you. And idea Pep Guardiola midfield here. City midfield combination at this point ain't been just idea. Even after spending money on Tijani Randes, Untimin Beye, an instrumental player in the City setup. Also glimpses of quality when he gets it there. And they only free Tijani Randes in a year. But so are you consistent enough because the ideal box-to-box midfielder, the typical number 8 in the Pep Guardiola system. Because Pep Guardiola system, 6, 8, and 10 they rotate. Into Xavi, Iniesta, Sergio Busquets. At the point, because Xavi had dropped deep, on the first man to pick the ball. Now Busquets kon enim kakra. At a point, Iniesta is doing the same thing. Tijani Randes is yet to settle fully. Well, it also started very well, but he's not there. Rodri comes back. Pep Guardiola and him the ability of Rodri. On him on any good day, dear Rodri beat me. But I still think, say, how he's forcing Rodri, especially based on the performance of Nico Gonzalez. That has a created this form of dilemma be on Manchester City in field. So Rodri is not the Rodri anymore. This version of Rodri cannot be compared to Sergio Busquets, cannot be compared to when Lam Bas Eba a year Pepun Finfin, to time a Kemich Eba Pepun Finfin, to time Ana Alonso, Etimijina Pepun Finfin, to even Fernandino and Rodri Nankasa. He's not living up to that version of Rodri. Though Pep Guardiola knows a man more playing time or Beba, but it's costing the team. Now look at City up front. Doku Piqué very well had an injury. Mamouche Piqué kakra. But picking up Piqué at the same time when Semenyo also hit the ground running. And to some extent, Guardiola and accepted say he need to align Ryan Cherki to be Ryan Cherki. Cherki is a playmaker. He's a creative force. But are they flair at the kind of ball? No? So sometimes Guardiola when he say there are certain things I saw in one touch, people no. To about that, say opponent, no, I recover. And I said by default, team be a bomber against Manchester City was a back. So when there is a window of space, now tell a ball no pay or more close our team no. But that is right, Cherki. Adaptation as a manager, Pep who's Adian. It will to them share factors when you know they compare Madrid. In a UEFA Champions League night, a tournament, no matter the form of Madrid in the Spanish La Liga, when it gets there, these players operate with a different spirit. The culture of the team comes to light. You know, let me know how City were going to survive. Again, City had every chance to say about attacking Madrid. And so attacking Madrid too. And the more you attack Madrid, for the last 3 years, from Coach Efan Ancelotti besine, adeɛ baako a Madrid akyerɛ sɛ ɔmo yɛ adeɛ paa ne yɛ sɛ ɔba attack ɔmo ne wetu fufu ato ɔmo nkwan mu. They will catch you on the break, and that is where the exploit of Vinicius come to bear. Valverde mo one touch passes, no, where they are efficient and they are so mechanical when it comes to their work. Now I was struggling to understand how City number survive it, and I was not surprised. Now I catch you. I said City will not even orchestrate any comeback, and while she can Madrid class I and home and away their mom, and that is what happened yesterday. Otuo, Pep, we need to accept, sir, and you may see it trust. Sanity. Moto also be with me at Trezam so when you're 90. Next 10 when you're 92, when you're 93. But I'll drop from 90 now about 83. Even in 83, you can still be in an A. By 83, it was 80, 70. It makes a wood declining. So what a cast a Pep would decline. I'm out from person by to say, oh, declining for this second. So in some aspect, people feel that, oh, second is not a decline, but compared to the standard set by Pep Guardiola 3 times running, Pep Guardiola now struggled to even make the semi-final of the UEFA Champions after winning the treble.
That's the standard.
He won the treble.
I'm for asset Yamano.
And you on one asset, Pep Guardiola the City called semi, echo final, eba semi, and obey treble. Now he's even failing to make the quarter final. He's even failing to make the semi-final.
Like he's still within a treble, and I don't got treble, no.
No,
even there.
Yeah, kind of standard of the treble, no, set in, which was you won the Champions League.
But it's can still won Carabao, FA Cup, and the Premier League.
But or the FA Cup, or the league, and or the UEFA Champions League. After that, when me repeat is at the NBA. And we told if this season Pep Guardiola and the league, it means that I got 2 seasons without winning the league. They say we got 3 seasons without making the semi-final of the UEFA Champions League with this Manchester City team, and that will be the current records of Pep. But to Chelsea the end of the year, na me hu how Liam Rosinua ebetimi asesa nioma. But to na me hu how Liam Rosinua ebetimi asesa. They don't have the materials. They've not been at this stage and survived.
Chelsea need material.
Oh, of course they don't. Chelsea, after the amount of money they spent, they don't have an established goalkeeper. That is number one. Chelsea backline, any leader, a matured, experienced centre back. Chelsea Nibi. For their midfield, there is less problem. Our Chelsea midfield, just some few cracks. If Caicedo is having a good day, if Enzo Fernandez, if Kopama is okay, problem be anyhow. But even as Pedro Neto is doing his own thing, João Pedro is doing his own thing too. You cannot tell me say Chelsea have an elite goal scorer. Sanyoma miensa ne hu hia pa in moments like this. An elite goal scorer, a master in defense. Eden kwalane kan ho ama na hyehye. And also a proper goalkeeper. The success story of Arsenal nyina e kan e refi ade baako. Goal na David Raya edan. Ball na Gabriel ne Saliba gina chiro na Mr. Otuo bon. You might just add it up to the numbers, but it's the fundamental or the basis of the Arsenal team upon which other structures are built. Chelsea is not having that. And this is a PSG team. They were just going to play with so much comfort, so much ease. And with that comfort and ease, pressure on Chelsea. There's no way this Chelsea team, now more the materials, they can survive under this pressure. So it was something, and I can't know. There were comments saying Debbie, and I was emphatic. Say PSG be show home and away. There is no comeback because I'm common about 3-0 no more show. I gave the scenario. Say me no about one off game now. She first go. I'm still going to attack you, but me no about a 2-legged match. Now me medical show coming with a 3-goal advantage. Even after you've scored one, you still need to attack me. And clearly you are all set yourself up to fail against a club like PSG. And to me, this was not surprising that Chelsea lost. I think the Chelsea project need to be looked at again because you can't spend over $1 billion and there will still be cracks. Arsenal, it was expected. Say Arsenal were going to beat Leverkusen. Sporting a surprising kakra, but more on that later. And next matches, I'm going for a Liverpool qualification. Forget about the Spurs, Bayomo. But this is the UEFA Champions League. I want to come from that angle. This Champions League night. And Champions League night, the Nyomoye. For clubs like AC Milan, Real Madrid, Liverpool, they can have a bad season. But when it gets to the Champions League night, surprisingly, they will find their way. Okay. Forget about the two Liverpool league. They will set top 8, no more. Yes. Chelsea Chelsea share PSG, the defending champions. Man City could share Madrid, the best team in terms of history when it comes to the Champions League. Ebian come share team Fufurubia, commit me a show. Liverpool could share a cathedral in the Champions League. And that is where I have the hope that the story can change. Especially the Juventus at the Gala, even after picking a red card over the second leg. Remember Liverpool advantage. Okay. I'm going for a Liverpool qualification. Barca will do the work for me. Hansi Flick, I rebuild the Camp Nou. It's a complete fortress. And in a Champions League night, that fortress will rise up again. It's expected. You to give me a 1-1. Okay. Not so much pressure on Barcelona. All they need to do is to avoid a defeat, which clearly, with a match said they have it.
I'm avoiding defeat a penalty. Extra time.
Like at West, they should avoid a defeat. Okay. That's it. My problem with Barcelona is defense. Okay. I told her first game in Newcastle, Boyna. Most of the writers were saying it was the worst match here Barcelona. But Hansi Flick's plan was simple. Let's all come back to Spain without a scoreline. Able put so much pressure on his attack, and that is what I am. But in this game, we are going to see a different Barcelona. But to me, sure say Lamine Yamal a silent game until Daniel Mo penalty is going to be that same Lamine Yamal today. The spirit will rise. So Lamine Yamal and the Barcelona team will qualify. But to Bayern Munich, there's so much data. I mean, so quite we question we end I got Tudor and his Spurs team won't cause any surprise against Atletico Madrid. So
another big fish expected. Madrid, Bayern Munich.
Of course, that is what will happen. That will be I'm expecting Liverpool to sail through. So Arsenal Sporting.
Liverpool say literally play PSG.
Yes. That will be a different story. A revenge at Setia Momo if they qualify, because last year go to PSG and be free. So we'll see how things will go. Spurs or probably. Atletico next person, which I'm going for Atletico, will definitely mean Barcelona.
So, but that's count your time and now later on, if there's space, you look at why you are disappointed with CAF.
Of course, sending
the Article 84 looks a bit straightforward.
Oh, it's not straightforward.
Okay, so it looks a bit straightforward. Zach,
so rules are rules, and you see, one you're careful. When say this is a bomb of emotions. Oh, it's a boy, Dienka,
what do you
and fun, so Emraso, I don't know where there's law, there's no opinion. So, Mrade, Emra.
But obviously, you apply common sense.
The biggest mistake Cav did was on this decision chair.
I think the rules of the and grind it slowly.
But those this my committee now, we appeals committee now cover we have.
Someone any appeals.
This my committee no money no money.
Hey, na court there be
a chair do. You see, there are very people make arguments say referee no. Referee have the final decision making. There be second.
I'm running Gaza.
I'm running there. You have you have a final authority on 90 minutes na year born and
the team violating Article 82. That is withdrawing, refusing to play, or leaving the pitch will be eliminated and lose 3-0 by default, ensuring a strict penalty for abandoning matches. But Momo can say some about back.
Hono, say that is the name how a referee allow them to allow them to come back and on board or fine. For
the purpose of those who are not, just say the team which contravenes the provisions of Article 82 and 83, and a can by withdrawal, leaving the pitch and so on, and shall be eliminated for good from the competition. The team will lose its match. Okay, see. Okay, 82 and say for any reason whatsoever.
Okay.
a team withdraws from the competition.
Withdraw. They do not withdraw.
From the competition or does not report for a match.
They reported.
Or refuses to play.
Okay.
Or leave the ground before the regular end of the match.
That is when you leave without coming back.
There
be sound here.
Maybe. Was it
one
leave ground near him.
The whole stadium. There be first one here refuse to play until
a team withdraws from the competition or does not report for a match or refuses to play. Or leaves the ground before the regular end of the match without the authorization of the referee, it shall be considered loser and shall be eliminated for good from a current competition. The same shall apply for the teams previously disqualified by the issue of Coventry. At least they refuse to play at a point.
At a point, but they continue playing.
But they refuse to play. A team shall not be present on the ground dressed to play at the time fixed for a kickoff or at most 15 minutes later shall forfeit the match. The referee shall register the absence of a team and shall write it in this report. The Organizing Committee shall take the way the MSI is not related. I don't see anything with Senegal on 83. So until the Omde I refuse to play no. Urema refuse to play now.
And you see the only argument the only argument that Senegal making is the referee allowed them to come back and play. He should have,
which means that the game continues.
He should have ended the game at that moment.
The referee now end the game. You cannot cite refuse to play.
Ended the game. The time that
Senegal, but it makes sense.
Time that Senegal about Morocco could have also protested. Say more because but they didn't do because no money how
it's up to the referee.
So a team which contravenes the provision of Article 82 and 83 shall be eliminated. From the team will lose its match by 3 unless the opponent scored more. Okay. So for now it's 82. No, refuse to play no more issue. And
the fact that you play the match, and I think I protest again. JB points someone before using unqualified player. It doesn't count in.
And the referee decision to allow you to play.
You have played the ball and
interesting.
And the referee decision one.
Okay, that's the beauty of law.
One more ball, but the illegality in there just because you played and say it didn't happen.
But did they refuse to play?
They refused to play. They walk off the pitch. Out of the dressing room. The game stopped for almost
20 minutes.
20 minutes. And later on play about
20 minutes. No more parking.
No, okay. But they were not playing.
But no more parking.
Then they left. Okay, there's one president be seen now and we can hear all take. Do you know what happened? When the coach wasn't happy, knowing the rules and the laws, only what he did. You penalty man against him on 90 plus 4 minutes. One off and one fan best of off. And the bench for no protest no. And was the bench for no on go. So bench for no. They almost on go. Yes. Almost on go in protest. But the team stayed Emma Ebo penalty no. Edit but where they left the pitch completely.
So Cav knew the law. Why did they go to the dressing room to beg them?
I don't know. A player, I'm a player back. After speaking to Claude Leroy, that is money. And I convincing no call back and no call from mobile. Okay. So, I know it will go to CAS. Senegal will go to CAS. But I 100% agree with the decision. We should not allow any team.
Referees
it should be deterrent. Senegal, okay. Should be deterrent from because from going on from onwards now. Team Libo Bola, I know say GBT and I almost off. Then they come back and play and continue.
They have taken note of the notification of the decision rendered on March 7 by the Appeals Board of Confederation of African Football. The procedure follows. The procedure follows. There is on a board. So some But Zach to us when you Senegal some be protest here.
They are preparing their documents to go to CAS and appeal that decision. But I 100% agree with them. Champions League matches ebaso. Na Misotu Chelsea FIFA Club World Cup no die omokakra. Emma the omu say they arrived but no munyon duye. Omu ano the project na omu ye no. So we say na a project no munin say like it take years for them to reach where they want to reach because now we say omu say they are building from scratch by buying young players so that actually they can compete. Then omu ko FIFA Club World Cup. They've beaten the best team in the world, PSG, Omaji FIFA Club World Cup. Then all of a sudden, the narrative was that, oh, the team has arrived there. It's a team without a very good goalkeeper. A team with one world class defender and an average left back. That can nobody. And they call into other guys normal defenders they won't go into any top team. Cucurella, who's a very average left back. Now this is James, who's a world class.
Average.
Oh, like who's a world class left back.
But at the moment, he's one of the best. At the moment.
That is
football.
No, I don't. I see him as he's not world class.
One world class today. Do you have a world class left back in the game today?
Nuno Mendes, world class left back. So you could create a Nuno Mendes. I'm baby. Who say I'm a world class now for me? Who says we are belittling the world class. Nuno Mendes. Nuno Mendes, but Nuno Mendes.
No.
World class, you penny. Second phase, no, never show most near the mountain.
He'll be within the top 5.
No, he's a good left back. Who's
top 5?
He's a good left back. But when you do world class in the end, I grab you, I just Nuno Mendes near you.
He's world class.
One podium. And left back one be.
He's world class.
That be world class. He's a very good left back, not world class. Injuries are Hanama. Injuries are man as well.
I didn't work a crew.
Eti ushomo. Ushomo now. Problem. If you come to Mumford, they have two good offenders saying Mumford they can be up there with any Mumford Biabet in Caicedo Enzo. But who's the third one? No, Omunibi. Oko anymore. Kopama. This season, formerly in Yambae. He hasn't played very well this season, and he has been off. But he's still a very good player. But Onyamomo, Sabona, or the moment last season, no. Kopama flew her just off. It's a team, and I build it. And now, Omoko win Club World Cup, no. Then the narrative change after the day. No more, and at least PSG. Omo perspective where they belong, and the scoreline was very embarrassing. Very, very embarrassing in a two-legged affair against Paris Saint-Germain. So too, Arsenal did the very good job on Leverkusen, and Eze is showing the difference between on a very good day, the difference between Odegaard, how the goals he asked the game and how Oye goals and Eze was exceptional. Declan Rice once again proving to be the most important. I think the most this year the most important Arsenal player is safe forward. Declan Rice. Declan Rice.
Yeah, we think it's Gabriel and a goalkeeper.
There be Declan Rice.
This is the young one.
Yeah, Declan Rice.
Most important.
Yeah, he's the engine of the team. Declan Rice is there. He's the engine of the team.
Gabriel no. I know he defendant.
Gabriel knew today. Now you have been in Capi played it better. Only I born correct. But in your Mumford without Declan Rice, you sweat a lot without Declan Rice in your team. It's once again Rice showed class. Emma Bibia, correct and so on. Yeah, so City there. I think Pep Guardiola, He's now rebuilding the team. Now decision making a very key because the lineup for the boy, you know. But for maybe the record,
it was a paper rule be my rank checking you.
No, he has to be a starter in the team. That's what
what kind of players be omuku?
No, he should know why.
Check it out in China.
Salah na play the ball run. If Salah or the top one lineup the ball first leg now. Like it would have been different.
I don't know what this is.
No,
this was
man.
For the record.
This was more balanced lineup compared to sentimental.
Before, but for once again, the genius of Kotua. Once again, I say simple, but for that, once again, having a world-class goalkeeper in Kotua. First 20 minutes, you but once again, Kotua showed why he has, for almost 4 years in here, been a defense for Real Madrid in Champions League. That world-class is now, and Pep the Onya, but he shouldn't leave the stage. The team, the Onya say he should making the right decisions. Very key. I think I know two no also. He thinks he has arrived or he's the
he has arrived.
But to be and the Hanono. So and I don't know. What way selection I want to ask you. Now, Mr. Otuo, and the Champions League games, Kakrebi. Once again, Rameka said in the Betana, when you be discussing the Champions League, Champions League, say they'll give you something to discuss the following day. And the sporting year, I said it yesterday. Say, yep, your baba tonight and down up. Teams 4, no. BBC, baby. So I think I will be a pretty someone they will qualify, no. But I could fall out for us to get something to discuss and the Champions League get the best. Today, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Liverpool, another team here, Bayern Munich. So 4 games here. The only one untouchable is Bayern Munich. But it's 3 way.
Tottenham Hotspur.
The business is 3 way.
No, you Tottenham do film untouchable.
There be, yes, based on based on their performance.
How much I'm saying?
5-2.
Tottenham only. I bet you Diego Simone the team with say.
Yeah, one of those games na be untouchable. Especially with Champions League record say out of 51 attempts from team are always 3 or more, only 4 now qualified. Okay, AC Milan always come into play. The first team are more signing Guasem no. 3 ko lose here. Then Barca continue. Liverpool see Barcelona Fremu and that order. But so about no. Certain Baku will give you something to discuss tomorrow.
I bet a bit my banana Newcastle Ibasa Fremu.
Or Liverpool no akotranche.
Liverpool they are down by a goal. So that will not be any idea.
One said Liverpool.
I got that you.
And a better discussion. No. And Liverpool are coming to this game with a bad record. Say, or quite no any form of defeat to be also or the air buffet in the second leg. Out of 16, the last 16, 11 years in Fremo Amford.
Bonotofa and you can say Biana Liverpool and qualify and Biana Bassa. Either Liverpool or Bassa, Biana Bassa.
We'll have that discussion here tomorrow. Right. Say, and the Champions League, they only give you something to discuss. And to whatever I say, Bako, Kaseba fall out.
Okay.
I'm here discuss Champions League.
Thank you very much. Dibo,
Mereho pa for African football. Say anope mo avenue bi aka kasa nanka kare ketia kamepa na chew.
Kare.
Karaga sorry.
Okay.
Ya idi na tem before the AFCON no. Kafa guye ni mase. Oma men say sifom. Omunye serious organization.
You disagree with them? But...
No, omunye serious organization. You don't sometimes it's difficult to say calf now beto mase wo monyomo. Let me give you one example. Me yaja to say Morocco now controls African football. As African football ni yomo dia. And on say calf are in danger, especially man no African Cup of Nations here boy say Morocco for na say mo host and because of this year no Morocco for your match so mo host bi and a lot of pressure is on CAF, especially because the financial burden in hosting other tournaments apart from AFCON no, and African countries be bringing to me and Morocco about to CAF aid and I'm to more try say mo be CAF no my yes anyo mani nyina nti wo oboafo bi say sometimes ya na den sem so to asem to na wo be yi wani dia ma no eno ne aba be do CAF ene eye Morocco asem
ba mra no so mo apply mra.
Let me give you few examples say wa ha say na yemfa ntoto mo hwe se betimi asia okay 2019 work any Esperance okay this year work for okay from the pitch
the same CAF.
Yes, Papa Gassama declare Esperance as the winners of the 2019 CAF Champions League. And a CAF for Kotanase. No more do ruling by say game Nyankobo replay. Then Morocco went to CAS. I saw Esperance. Echo CAS. Omoko CAS no. Zoto. Sorry. Loss of the game.
31st May 2019.
Yes. And CAS for ruling and case panigina 5.2 loss of the game. Referee decision. Final. We nti CAF say replay no. CAS for ko to asem ne gui. So munyo mo nsem no mo keka no. Because
related.
Similar. Ebia the teams involved in the see you call a year agito you call CAS wa the rules of IFAB and the laws of the game supersede the CAF for you.
They say based on this rule
me say
Morocco you
and more Morocco
because when they punish
the issue is
punish what
there be the issue
and declare them losers.
There be
the referees
decision
they punish them for
referee say ya bobo na wie or no to the work for year you know Esperance for your winners because work for free park and so omukọ the move free stadium must aka ho and a referee say because of their work for you we declare Esperance winners of the CAF Champions League 2019 and a CAF court na say no mo say born yensa mebo biem because referee decision now will take you know and then no and no more CAF for the year juma and Esperance call CAS omo call CAS no zoto omo yusu loss of the game 5.2 article 5.2 the decision of the referee is final.
No, CAS didn't rule. So CAS didn't CAS no rule omo. CAS rather told them to go back omo CAF na nkasa no to go and use their own appellate bodies, you know, and do the right thing.
And I writing here,
and he cast the
writing on me and say, go back. The referee now, no nom the Juma. And yeah, Esperance and Jacob no. Yakobo ni biom.
And they punish work for working off.
Debbie.
So here they say for working off.
Na say we na ya kan wazaki to. Asan wa ya kan say. At the end of the day, omo call CAS. CAS chiro omo say, CAF for decision no ma taking is wrong. Omo fa mra ne koya adwuma. Which omode mra no koya adwuma no. The referee can na bem.
So key details of law 5.2.
Yes.
Say referee's decision on match facts including goals and results are final. Changing the decision can only be reversed if play has not restarted and the referee has not left the pitch. So you are using the first part, which means that referee's decision is final. Referee's decision at the end of the day was Senegal were champions.
Yes, the case closed.
But
me say a emotional decision. A protest when they use unqualified player. So we use unqualified player there. Accepted. So let me say. But wait there. If the referee time as Senegal for free park and so no. And no born na ben say pre yapon.
I think the Senegal for na some more canon.
So let me say. Say referee born na ben say pre born yapon. Born here to us to be Morocco your winners are.
So the argument is that since a referee not playing some more back.
Yes.
The issue of living players.
The biggest judge on the pitch is the referee. So to sort them say, if somebody is to be punished, any mistake ben oye. Mistake ben oye because you know. They want to go over the capital. What they got almost a ground.
Grounds not refer to the pitch.
There be go and read your rules. Come rules na ka say pitch.
Now
what do I say about me na me come? Any pitch. There be the whole
even come here refusing to play.
It's when you were a spectator and I watch your ball was stands. Maybe when we are spectator now her ball was stands ma. Was the Tony grounds war. Are you not only grounds?
Oh, grounds.
It's your gas only pitch this one go.
I'm going to go to okay, yes. And I police CID.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't see the one of the stadium.
It's my seminar say, Bema Boda. Based on say what the Esperance any working at the end but to we clearly Bema Boda.
Differences will move.
The difference in
you see, referee's decision is final, and we don't quite a referee no point. But where the as a referee
now pong referee ti asese game ni meto so. Because park na e gina so na ye bobo. Even the CAF president any 2 minute referee no. It is the judge of the day.
Punishment the man Morocco for you now.
The judge of the day.
Attention what cap no kwa.
Judge of the day no ye referee no. So ono say ball na mi di no. Any 2 minute ekuta me no. Me hu say ye nto so.
Mobile penalty.
All other areas stanchions one do better by game ni you cannot change the score line. You say they can't you cannot change the score line. I don't know why I'm so told. After mistake by referee's mistake, referees they face the consequences. And they say referee so told there be referee in terms of Emra baby esesa enyoma esesa mizoto enyoma esesa enyoma esesa football enyoma esesa football results no enye bi ni we o say referee taking this is where one what for do unqualified player e bia match na yakobo mizoto a match of inconvenience yakọ fix match no enu bi na mizoto you can sit down and change the results but the referee here there never bother you cannot sit anywhere and change the decision a referee taking. No, it cannot happen. Nobody should support this. There be Zakito.
I support the decision of CAF Discipline Committee as until mine. No, person, you can't disgrace our continent biggest football festival like this and call yourself champion. But apart from settling it doesn't mean. Pep has spent more than any team for the past 5 years, so he's failing. Kofi can say, had they scored the penalty, would they have used this law? CAF is just a joke to football. Boare France, so Zach is defending CAF for this mess. Nana Kwachi Nyama. I want to ask Zakito if he still stand by the baby Courtois keeping the Belgian post instead of senior Courtois. CAF is right, so Jibo I also disagree with you. Senegal should go to CAF, simple, as until man. Yeah, Sebesi congrats to Arsenal for this victory. Okay, I say I'm supposed to be divided. But Obusa question, who can world class goalkeepers?
I'm about tournament, we have a take you one, yes, I do. No good anymore to say, I'm a Nimguasiaka say, people will not even take it serious. To the Champions League. And
I did, judges want me to president. So I think they would have cause them consider the way no so bad decision. Esperance example, and they know all this.
The same time no what can I punish there be Jabo and the boy and a referee say referee in a park so pre my pong Esperance magic cup.
Yes,
the referee had every right. The referee had every right to whistle to end the game. There be one yes sir. Senegal for just was stopping game no waiting for Senegal to come back and play the game. ɛna Senegal buy no mbɛbɔ ball no
ɛna
yes eti wey the referee no loto eti at this stage article 5-2 loss of the game became ebeba supreme
to continue under protest
omanya under protest
that is what they did omunim the mra but omuso amma
Zakito
so we are playing under protest
Zakito Morocco for at that particular moment omuni to me in referee no nti Morocco for the say you under protest loto Champions League games of course so enra I think Enra game after City ne Real Madrid no one game a Pep Guardiola tenase bi ma the other can say you why a mistake me yani Fabio Capello aya adwene on how Pep Guardiola in some games were making the selection unim matenase din Enra na me bi so bi say hwe Pep Barca team no zoto hwe Zidane Real Madrid team no between these two sides one is
giving us some contribution here. But referees' decisions are not always final. In the case of forfeiture, a referee can end the game, but teams can protest to overturn the decision. Forfeiture is more technical and goes beyond referees' decisions.
Can they overturn the decisions on which decision by?
No, I'm saying back with the argument.
No, there should be specific areas.
And I'm not like you told about Morocco playing and protesting. There's an error, but the referee has not ended the game. So we play, but we will go and argue. The referee, it was an error on his part to continue the game.
There be.
Meaning, so I just want us to look
the at the moment the referee decides, and I'm going to say, unless it's about unqualified player. And let me make my point. We are betting unqualified player. If the game is being fixed, so I tell you, but see, any park needs to say Kim. Everything concerning the game is right. Yes, topic game, any year 2 games, you know. It depends on the referee.
But I'm saying that this is back with his argument. Or say, and yet Tembiana referee, no, this is here final. For instance, at the BC, there was a referee no point ball. Baby, Asem Kabika or interest, and it was on point. Sesano Muboria, you can also evaluate and question the
referee. For future, no more the call of me saying.
Oh, for future, they need to say, yeah, because I see see a danino. They will no longer.
And to us, be interested. Moses Senegal made them so much service abroad from the Mentias or the Montreal.
For future, yeah, what dad, the NEA free one seminar. Say in this case, referee, no, BBS also a pong board. But now, say referee, be was some interest into one pong. Or see a poor ball now, but Marco use some radio case. The referee should have ended the game, but he did not. And therefore, the referee himself ate. And you know, meaning say if I just want you to understand that referee be an also pong. But penalty I no idea be an near wound. And or see a moonye. So what I say, because it's possible, for instance, the referee knew or assumed that the penalty was going to enter the net.
Oko 5-2 no say, the decision of the referee regarding facts connected with play, including whether or not a goal is scored, and the results of the match are final.
Yeah, actually, we will look at this. There are a lot of arguments coming in here.
Okay. Final results.
In the case of forfeiture, you can even question the referee head. The referee himself head.
At the end of the day, the Onya results need cleaner. Onya Poma. So forfeiture, the punishment should go to the referee. Not the team. Now referee team will be red card. Referee team will be red card. The moment the red card is given, the red card stands, but the punishment goes to the referee.
And we are different.
And you're different again. Different again. Loto, eti metiwo din na maybe someone say Adana Zidane team need to be Champions League as atwaso. Na Guardiola here suspended or Barcelona nyina am to oje Champions League 2 pay. Maybe some questions, no. Then, about Munams, Capello, as me or can you no cray. Guardiola in anymore. Sometimes I so you be asem to be anya bida. Because let me tell you, Onyade de Untiminka. Untiminka say Guardiola Onyade. How can you say this? How can you this is a coach. Hey, that's an Aken. Guardiola there. The impact on football. Many fear me share football. I'm here to see a coach who impacting football more than Pep Guardiola. No, na say you do any pana Otuo there's an Aken. Guardiola impact. No, ya kasi ya me to ebe kwa chebe when Spain win World Cup, their first World Cup, you cannot discredit Pep Guardiola impact on the Spanish national team. Now the players they free Madrid Guardiola. These are emotional, you know.
How he managed his dressing room. The friction between Barcelona players and Madrid players in 2010. I've sent the boss. I'm getting to the team. You will take credit to come up Pep Guardiola.
There are certain games you should do. As a Guardiola overdo Nyomadodo. Remember one example. City ne Chelsea final. Chelsea share City 1-0. That night, City best holding midfielder was Rodri. The decision to drop Rodri, the netina bench, the Gondon and Bebo that holding rule. Shakwa made Simon fast so this are passing the Makai habit. And that was Chelsea's only chance of the game, which cost City and no winning Champions League. And I saw what Nasi, no any lineup, no the ball and run. No schedule the ball, Santiago Bernabeu now. Odobusa no say, I don't know, yes, I do. How do you play against Real Madrid? And the only midfielder with defensive qualities, it was Santiago Bernabeu, Rodri. Obedient when your resource. But Enra, even with a player down, so to look at the City team, because he was able to arrange his team well, and Omobo to a level. Loto, first leg, now second leg. Yes, they are out because of Bernardo Silva, which play a huge role in the game. But if City are out of the Champions League, I think Pep Guardiola and I'm City every Champions League name on how I'm to in the selection. As an assembly there, I think you better find the right time. Maybe you'll be able to. If you say every department of football counts. And you cannot select one area and answer one department and say it's our department any the most important department in football. Me Saudi and Mentia said that. Reason why Mentia say, Kosha Arsenal never team game no, and no more boy and chair, and me person me come bebre. Before us never show me 2 goals no. She go na Jokare share no. Zotu. Ojina po ni mo. And a ball hinka in a beton and on a net, no ball talk. But the number of saves, I'm so too, Raya, and Sana Arsenal stay in the game to get their first goal and eventually score their second goal. But you know, now I'm out for a feed Raya, then they'll be praising Jokeres. Oh yes, sir, you are not being fair to the goalkeeper who made the number of saves that afternoon. Because the goalkeeper is not supposed to score. All there is to protect his goal post. It was a juma bro. Why do you go and praise your caress? It's me, Makase. When you watch the Arsenal team this season, and based on how Arsenal ball, it's difficult to choose player B Mzoto, Yemfene Raya, and now Gabriel as Arsenal player of the season. Very difficult. Declan Rice were caught off par this season, unlike the standard of setting last season. But the contribution of Raya any Gabriel this season. So to ebeye me ya say been player of the season in the Premier League. Obi to say Gabriel and Raya ye mo mudin. And look at the players I able mudin. Bruno Fernandes because why more assists. Oh, now go keep on doing good. Onim goda.
Go
give man onim goda.
To compare.
Something me say.
You are comparing as who come you know do be at the aquachiri.
I think the example is clear. Say obi ade hu hia.
Enti no kan.
Goalkeeper save to be assist na so no to onye best. Goalkeeper so prevent. And now you tell no America baby for
me. They say stability. Statistics back where football mu kura me dwa kura e clean sheet. Goalkeeper better goal post mu. Ebia the whole game comes to no anche ball. Me am marking the clean sheet. Me am marking the clean sheet. Then another goalkeeper better goal post mu. No, I had 10 crucial saves. Also do a clean sheet. But how do you other than so this goalkeeper see me nyina baby fako. Then use clean sheet to get them. Tell them make statistics mo analyze you. Yes, I be kwa fast maba. And the games ne kakra bi. Newcastle will not survive. Spotify company. Yes. These are nice too. I am a teams now. Omuni the traditional Champions League spirit, you know. I know team survive. Ya need the move back. And omuni team more to say the mobile was St. James, no. Because stadium bit is a Camp. Even the size of the pitch, you need experience. Echo ball stadium bit is a Camp. And now it is an Pepe about Santiago Bernabeu and how most of his players no money. Yes. Who makes me a good player with St. James? Who the Manchester City be a force semenyo? No go go. But who do Santiago Bernabeu? Pressure crown was to one hair boot to bet you from. Ubu to crab bet you from. Eti sometimes football na ye born and only players now was selecting on the park so no. Even the venue na ye bobo no. And the atmosphere. Say you no our venue no. Certain players cannot
Liverpool they Galatasaray.
Yes, because on say Galatasaray we good travelers. So to mo kwa we o mo nche da nya de. Eno na ma we ni da so mu anu ay careful kakra because we had 10 men Juventus against Galatasaray. And if Liverpool say a Champions League night, the history of Liverpool in this competition now free Juventus the Galatasaray. Difficult to see Galatasaray some best survival. Until Barcelona possibly to on measure goals. Oh, they will score goals. If Newcastle are not careful, no measure 4.
4-0.
Be a 4-0, be an 4-1, be and Liverpool
more fighters will be
more fighters, but my more factors I'm to do a better than their moment. You won't say a very game no see cancer factors in abo my best so Lami Yama, well football of the year, because I know money in Aki Kabum Nama Lami Yama.
Newcastle in this Champions League have done very well away pass.
But Omunshia Barcelona. Omomo Camp Nou, Omunyabo 3.
Okay.
Omunyabo 3. Galatasaray will not survive Anfield.
So Liverpool
roughly 2-0 or 3-1. We game Galatasaray be bono. And now Barcelona, so I'm looking at 4-1 or 4-0 for Barcelona. Tottenham Hotspur, to Richarlison aba. What the moment she appears on a cast stage, you better results no. So I'm Chelsea for call work club a year. Me so the one. Competition to your stages so one test annual man sometimes one will be two. Say Atlanta they are already out. There's nothing they can do. Me sure say Atlanta beat me against Bayern Munich. Then Tottenham against Atletico Madrid. Say Tottenham will be I don't think it's the Champions League. How they will survive in the Premier League. Make sure I'm in Liverpool weekend. Adeba kwam hu yene say, Richarlison. Or a different player. The mentality, the fighting spirit. It's something other Tottenham players need. It is for Tottenham to survive in the Premier League. They will need players or more mentality. Say Richarlison. Against Diego Simeone side, it's not like he's meeting an experienced European side. They say Madrid, Barca, Milan, Bayern. Against Tottenham, Tottenham will not survive. It is our game no so cry no. Mama let's go Madrid 2, Tottenham Hotspur 1.
Okay.
London.
Right. Thank you.
Well, Tino. Good. Wasum Yenti, Herba Clinic and pay Yantumeka Enko Abrepo First Go Police Station. Dr. Samuel de Munim de Dada, Edumapanoa, what they call Hono so, when ye or Bronco Foreman Cofoni, a test is war, pressure about swanning in a mono, Nina and Yama Ekoye, would you know a idea of Ben or San Wahuna? Would you so quickly? What Posa, Monsieur Tap, and the Sua. Faja doctor, Nina Ansa Crown will complain, Mammy, Major Cemetery, Monsieur Diana, and for me, who near control, Buano, have driver and walk as a driver, number, and matching Nano, or so call, make an answer, where your mamma room where, my mamma who's on pa, or drew, or see a drubber George's at Rema, and no young experiment, who, Nanimua, was in Madrid, who you pa, Coffee, quiet action, nothing, Yaman Uncle, Nabra, but to us so, Nanyaman Koy, Oyanasano, not just a stroke cajon, diabetes, Hania, also Gono, Canada's called Coco, Ninano, Yako Abrepo First Go Police Station, Dr. Samson Fan was 0243 001058, who we pa, Kai say, Lobek or the Yama Paparina, Abba Abegu, Commercial Duncho, Hanamo, Mamu Technophone, Wouldn't Technophona, Winning in ye, which charge your best the whole day, who could feel Quanaja say and sample, and no charge, laptops and songs, infinite. Zinyamono, ya the whole charges and free power bank at your pa at your back home. You win in signing in way. I was a TV, was some kakra, refrigerator, iron blender, air condition, mechanic say pa, Namaka was a banners and all, yet more, and a diabegu, a doom, prudential bank on a mokajetia, your quamti and so. Well, sounds a pizza today. You was CGB bank on them so fly, a station tech, or Primo station, wow. Kaya Morocco, so Crabatan back war, you was Sunyani opposite Techiman Accra, Hoinano, number 0501 635620 0501 635621. Not just a one ya love like Yama baby ever fear. Police in a dead runner, or no sooner here, drone, yet the channel, a donating a sharp imbus, just one Nagaza police in no, Castle Matua sharp, no abacho, and into drone year, Juma, Ninano, and they say diabetes, ulcer, cancer, hypertension, UTI, body pains, Ninano, Omuntu, so, air to a drone, den. Mechanic say, pa, na fay, Massa Aka will say, one more them Akoto sharp imbus, no, Mamma Dinam 10 years, and they Yanari and Sunny, no, with minimum sharp imbus, no, a brave biara, Yadia and Mayem, would you boost to Hong Kong one, Yadian will come, no one's a one of Shapwa, or so cry, won't you venture, Emma, Hong Kong how, and Mencan and Sancho, dear, nay 0246 20 84 96. 0246 20 84 96. I said, dear, and so be adient to Quande Berada, and until we say no, a pile gaga, Ninian problem bang, and I will face ye when he has obeyed our city. Niniano, a same doctor Waha, and until a gentleman dental clinic, as someone may came, or Babekasa, but the number name was 0549 906 588 0559 139 582 because we can say no, not just the number no, who fair, not doctors new aid who and come on. No Samsung iPhones, dear Chrome, won't mean cat, and your Franco de Berada, or can I say washing machine, blender, generator, gas, electric stove, CCTV camera no, if you have Pebico Honomo, Pebico School Hall, Pebico Bank Honomo, a bread yabi, now for your choice, the Echoes watching on Massa Yama Hagene, and until you quite Jabba Joel, a doom old Melcon, Cofor Clinic, New Kajetia, Ninana baby 0245 316969 0245 316969. Gentlemen, not just a no enter wapa Franco dear with the number the amount and a pay Makai JM Adu and Sons and a diamond war. Nemesia so Casino, ye call a cashi drug lane, who call no Pami and Sano, Ubenya Biato, one person, Muda, Namudana ho. Now dear Chamusum Hosono. Yes, I can't 10 minutes no about better pay, no per Wells, let's pray be, now they good touch my say. I dear bet you would den church in tree, ya dear beer Emma how. Kick us on a dear, your Pumbay den, a bra, your bones no, a bedra ye, and into a pen for near cry, or manu and a manu for, and an anchor who win is every pa. A young tune from Sona say, Sans a woody dear walking in ano, both about finding penny for a 1 plus 400, and when he have a Friday no, a 1 plus 400 suspension. Panino, we have 1 plus 400. No pay nano, ye 0509 439 063 0302 666 132 number C and our dear friend JM Adu and Sons now and also Abuao and many Akoye legend.
Kama. Na gentlemen, omo na akoma se mo mamba. By the birthday of Kevin Nkrumah, Kelvia ye ASP Vida Apple. ASP Vida Apple and and Baba Kevi and Kruma birthday. ASP, Kevi, I'm say, I wish you all the best in your life. Happy birthday to you. Doc, not saying, gentlemen. I say, dear, baby,
sir.
Baby, gentlemen. You knew come
all right. Jadi Kaino, time on Mamifa, Konyawe, and Chia, Ghana for a share Oyerepa TV, and pay anyone at 18 or other platforms. So, anyone at 18 or radio soon, we a gentleman health exercise. Na yepese ene yema oman for etias ye dientia ema oseno wo ho abun se na eseno aye yellow na afi eseno wo ho na afi astati na ebubu na esena start se ewewe obi ho no ma se onom iced water ontimi chilled food ontimi ebi a anka abrobe those things ni na odibia na ne se no na efemfem no nya teeth sensitivity. That sharp shock pain obi dear cry to me a persist for be 30 seconds 1 minute na ne sinu gusua fmfm no we eye tooth erosion na ema ebasa ye ka tooth erosion a irreversible damage of the tooth enamel caused by acid attack ye pese ye kire nyina ne say eseno sane ye si hunu no ne tenten no 2/3 na ewura down e free ujingiva na wo gums no nia ekọ kustua ojobon wa pantan kasa ni mu no se ye chemu miensa 2/3 na ekọ down 1 na epie out nti 1 na epie outside no there is a layer a cover na ye frɛ no enamel na human body part ni na it is the hardest human body part a eye enamel no nti se eye den no nti na ma ese no etumi ebodompemu etumi wisa ade a den enomo ni ade. Now there's another layer your friend dentin and at the central portion of the tooth no say no emfimfi no eye pulp empembe be obeti obi o say maybe dompe adan o say ope calcium sa calcium na wo pe no eye pulp no and nerves no e de supply ekoma no nti enam epical form no na de akofa ese no apex wo na fa root canal ni mu na abepie pulp ni mu nti na ma pulp no e ma ese enyini nti abofre so a onyini no na ne senso so enyini. All because of say minerals na body ni nya no e de kofa nerves ni mu de bebre pulp na a consist of blood tissues and nerves enti under no circumstance and sese bibia koto dentin no ana pulp no but uban say obi ho na ne sene na start say ekrikri na factors e de ban ya categorizing into two. Your intrinsic factor and your extrinsic factor. You can't extrinsic factor na eche say enema e happen from the outside yankasa ye de koye numu a etumi ma yese no enya saa ensunsu so na fei yese na start na aye attacked. One extrinsic factor no say bia na obi overbrushing. You can't overbrushing na say o spend too much time brushing no. You can say o brush ya spend at most 2 to 3 minutes. Baby asasa we focus no o tongue na so said de be ya bacteria to say Treponema denticola or yes stubborn or tena utang so no ubetumi a flash no by using the bristles no and na face so no obi on mo use hard bristle toothbrush toothbrush a no den e basa no a na astarte na enam say din nti no na fight against o enamel no na ese no start say wiwi na ehi na enamel no ehi free ho afei another factor so a etumi ema yese no etumi ehi enso so te say niam bia ye de ko yenum te say bia soda and I say acid citric acid drinks ya abaya yenumi de bia ka se obenum a bomodian say we be use straw said ye be ya ene wo se no acid no enya contact bacteria bi te say streptococcus mutant de oye ne say one say udidi na one brush wo se a onu be fa debris na owia no release nsuo bi friend lactic acid sa acid no and I started say egugu enamel na the hardest human body part no nti obi ono ma o hwe me utie me o hwe me roma o bon say intokro tiny holes bi I started say ebedi da usim especially u primoles no moles ni mu no na we de acid no started say o ene o contactor e dissolve enamel no enkakra it is enka obenya o nom sa drink bia enka unya o use straw enka ebeboa na ama wose no enu no entumi enya contact na ama ese no afa ne ntoma pa ediefra na intrinsic factors no so be say enema e happen within yen system no mu ebi eye gastroesophageal reflux disease yeka gastroesophageal reflux disease and say enipa bia odi aduane ekọ wonum no there's this hydrochloric acid ya ewo enum no gastro acid na ewo ye yefunu mu no eno na se wo hwe enam kra den na se enam no when to me anchiw ni properly na ekọ yema se eba as fecal a ubon se anane kra adentia because there's this acid na ewo yem no but obi honoma ubon se na because of digestive disorder binti na ma gas ne start se esan boba back na enam ni throat no mu eye esophagus no mu irritate the walls of esophagus no mu but eye very corrosive eti ne corrosive nature ninti ni se ene wo se no start se enya contact to obo ma obo se oho na se okausu na se gas bi ebofa no so sa gas na o ye yefunu mu no when consistently se ebo ba wonum na ene wo se ne benya contacta o ye den a obenya teeth erosion na o se na start se ewewe eno ene ade ana afa so xerostomia enso so another factor ye ka xerostomia ene se obi a wonya dry mouth wonum ese eye dryer emwa we eye Gentleman Dental Clinic your number is 055 913 9582 055 913 9582 and 0549 906 588 0549 906 588 you tube to me start say oh frame me kase we ya na mom de ye kan say wonum eye dryer because saliva intestinal no play key role ewo yen oral system ni mu ene say one a flashy bacteria ti so obi adi aduane a enwuwom ubo say with time no na ne tank so nyina ye yellow but the bedroom baby no na ohwe ne tank no so a ketema no so no na enwu nyina free so saliva intestinal no na a flash no free ho eti a flash bacteria enso e de koyeyem afei dilute any unwanted acid bia ene yesenenya contact eti se wakonom drink bia ekuta carbonate no e basa no a saliva no dilute no se de be ya nka the way a acid no be dissolve wo enamel no entumi enya na saa ena afei so certain nrobi te set omi a omonom pressure dro enye ni nyina some of them eno so tumi cause xerostomia ma wonya dry mouth eti apart from say wanum ye dryer one e cause halitosis e ma scent eba wanum no saliva no ekuta antimicrobial properties a fight bacteria enti Gentleman Dental Clinic ye can say won sa sign bi wanum say wo se na start say yellow because dentin no ye the next layer na wo enamel fitana uhu na chi no yellow ne color no enti wo say start say start say ehia na dentin ye exposed it will say obi a wonya gastroesophageal reflux disease and say wonya tooth erosion no na ne se no start say yellow ema wan kasa wo confident no ekofom afei ema wonya teeth sensitivity na sana start say efemfemu na eye o ya uti pain ewo mu wenti na say every 6 months be say otumi ko hu dentist this year unya maya me encourage you bra Gentleman Dental Clinic ye wo Kumase Bantama Abepo Junction Total Filling Station your branch no be ewo ho oko Atonsu High School Junction traffic light na so ubehu Gentleman Dental Clinic ho Accra ye wo Nungwa main lorry station ye ne NDC party office no na eye direct opposite Domi Kwabenya Atomic Down your branch no be ewo ho oko Techiman ubehu your Market Magazine Road ye ne AY Ahmed na ye direct opposite Koforidua ye ne Central Police Station no na ebon ho pe Takrade eye Banchase Tadisco Down Tamale ye wo Tushigu ye ne Central Post Office no na ebon Aflao ye ne Ecobank na wo the same building frame was 055 913 9582 055 913 9582 and 0549 906 588 frame is here
thank you very much that's CP doctor say your science but term say akanya dia onim na microbial
science first term
ana ujaye
ana me social journals
okay
based on challenges we are facing
okay
actually ana mentimi
okay
Edudoto anu asasa nto kotoko san na afija
oba no ya de chen ono oye
anya
aba get am chen ono timi ye science dey here say geographical say
Geometric
What do you call that?
I am free. I am free.
Why are you replacing your son?
Geometric engineering, I'm very oh, how many you know. At the end of the two, who's the number can say now as I'm to Kotokoma, a figure liberty for no 50,000 Ghana cedis no. Our man young to no. Nana, that's an umbuku, another appointment. That was then no another from later catch on say Omomra 5. And the a figure for you could do her 5 PM. Mr. Two, as I call Barana, Omo Kotokono, pursue almost common 50,000 no. Na Odomunion Tum, na actually number say, Omepeka Cardia Som. Okay. And a figure for no decline. Sanya de Obusu. And they insisted, Mr. Two, or insisted, Ombeso, the total sum na a buy and a Kotoko 50,000.
The asset meeting, of course, no, or disclosing to
Kotoko say, and idea on be disclosed. Ombetuma disclose that room. I think of one that's it. And I'm to Omode Omoni Etre Omufi. Nancy Ho. The two. Now, no, remember Daniel program after the show. And I had a call from Accra, a lawyer, Zakito Kwanino. And Benin for a free, one thing about your program, they say, the crime de la criminal in the country not listening to the sports, and there's no doubt about it. And now can't say more ha. No, na. Lawyer, and a lawyer, no. Educating me, papa.
About kids, no.
Papa was too.
Okay.
Your friend, Chipsa. Emma, yes, now I establish one fact, you say. An amateur player, who bet me a sign contract for an amateur player. Now, since I contract na name, if you liberty sign, you know, is it binding? And I say, Kotoko can decide say player na amateur, you know, omani subcontract no, and to Chiefs actually, Okoye Rosan back. Now, by unfortunately, my final year was that yes, Sika Kotoko de my and the next cannot was wrong. Ofri said that cannot shouldn't have been used as a transfer.
50,000, you know.
50,000, you know. Maybe I can be training compensation for the team. But the contractor, as Santico Tokone, team no sign there, the contract is bounding.
Which is,
say, once they signed a contract, you know, a Sokotoko, every contract, you know, to go to and go for Nosika, to say to us, kind of about 25%, don't share them all.
Sana Chips are kind.
Chips are more kind.
Now, what you see is an Okano. And now your own interpretation.
Maybe authority. Lawyer idima me na odi ahwe una brofo tintim so me buy na me for idima o say o no brofo so tino ade why na pese o kan
lawyer for bro
na o ye I'm so say if me hwe o say the question about say a player how you amateur so to ebetimi etimi ni team assign contract with that effect and o say panel no trans no or the court of arbitration for sport 2025
president
a president no a Bulgarian club. And I think Croatian club are involved.
Okay.
And also the panel has contemplated whether the RSTP, so the RSTP here stands for FIFA Regulation on the Status and Transfer of Players. No. And Omubusa say, panel no trans no. So to Omu George Onomo say, the panel has contemplated whether the RSTP restrict the parties' autonomy to agree on a transfer compensation in case of a transfer of an amateur player. That's whether consequence of such transfer shall be limited to the payment of training compensation. However,
why we started?
Okay, don't person say player an amateur player. One answer I say when you transfer and when you training compensation fee no. Miso to sa team no. Na sa team bet me sign contract for a transfer fee on such a player. A cast na cast so sign contract or that ends boni bianim. It means Kotoko as John Johnson say a mistake. Kotoko have to pay contract can Kotoko no go for sign. Contract don't say 25%, Kotoko must pay that 25%.
Pay.
Okay.
Me just say o man mistake. by signing it.
Oh man, mistake in signing that.
Then we
contract.
move on.
If the lawyer went for them to say
sign
that. Once I was sign we
no apply.
Yes, where your court of arbitration for sport. I want to Senegal for some more. Omo kasa your authority. Say CAS for kasa. I'm so interestingly when both FIFA and CAS accept this. Say when a player is an amateur, not say who team no. More agree on transfer training compensation
is allowed.
Some sign a contract with say so and so player, even though we're entitled to training compensation. But who's a player no ebia and kwan on uncle for you my breno. Ya the team no assign a contract. Contract no say ye turn when the player gets to 18 years. Now your turner or some professional contract. I remember team no be a 10%.
And training compensation is easy.
Training David and Zari.
Once you pay the percentage to them, there's no training compensation.
I know what say. Can't say. Player no entitled to training compensation. And no dear. And so the mom.
And so why this percentage?
But also sign contractor. Sign contract no so as otua. I don't know maybe sign a bro for us mechanic baby no.
That's it.
It was and same be and you know here no. That if you just for no man so much, not so much more can. Some they don't need anything. Kotoko.
Says also I'm so bad then.
Information mean say omo call back to omo lawyer.
Okay. No lawyer tested law. You ask will be in your way.
Etuto. Nya sa authority ma send am akotoko panin. So no so hwem. E bia na me interpretation.
Omo okra dada.
Aha, the one kind. O kind na say I didn't sign it here. So they are to no move fan.
Yeah, kakra ni because that say na fe over them far way and obey training and compensation.
I think so.
As you have taken a keen interest in this matter.
Because we will be free.
Because
teams no ya no mo bre. My evidence. As for such, say me nyam sika nyina nke ne ka sika ni.
What else?
Otoma e ko duru ha.
Exactly too.
So talk as me can
It's interesting kakra. Even though the way no the authorities were in a different crowd mukanya.
Okay. Kids no.
And they were at point in time like who kind in details are there's a more difference kakra with way there no enti enama you would mean for we no and direct authority on you know
or the grata and dada
no kind of the difference and on our budget to mean so what kind in details are na but who said the transfer no the transfer from the lower team no to Blotel for no before omo cancel because omo say no more say or a free agent till but we and the
circumstances
are different we no okoye no but again crab no cancel the transfer fee because omo realize say a free agent no say ton more and until which
they cancel the initial
agreement and team no say they be entiase because you we not nim say wa ko vesta bi and et you sha the circumstances
so they insisted on the agreement with them okay
because no you move said there but game for the country anyway difference ni
contract in the nkunim na say
contract no say later on no
contract in the nkunim
that
means the contract contract is supersede all other stories around it.
So that person messed up. Like here details of what transpired.
But at the end of the day, the contract in the nkunima. All other stories around it.
No, they are precedents. No, yeah, the exact.
But to have a lot of similarities.
Okay, last week I said it. I said, "Me go shoot sit with them because I don't have FIFA." Omo we dem couple so could do on one their cars for the buje kotoko na say omo everything na onu coach go SNet contract now the shame say me power me 3 months wa sign na maje tumu but on the call wa mo say yenti ase twani nya sika nya ma no
be no for feature no referee in there
omo say twani nya ma no eti omo adwi bi say so mo ti ase manyema because wa se very more
okay
we are for coach over from
pam no and e bia so ni enti wa anye careful
okay
wo bokwai wo betwe interest nya wo so etimi kotoko
also suggest say they should sit down.
They should.
Now I'm trying to say I'm renting so much. 25%.
25%
Almost on 50 posts look okay. Maybe I should add the money anything. That's 25.
Edu over so.
So I'm you swear enough yen kakaka. I'm on 25.
Ah, na come bra be 10 bi.
Be 10 na normal. Na we dey 25 there. Obi
come no monka. Ba me hankwa na mate say ya transfer player. Clubs are omunyina player na pass through omo ansa na okodu club no transfer no. So a transfer fee no. En ha se ebu bia mane mo obiti.
Ebu bia mane say
6k woman no.
Say ma bontin.
And there be club na to say liberty.
Parties involved.
Fija liberty for so almost say.
But na the transfer no is there.
So
if they want to see they can see it. Oh, they can see it. They can see it.
Ghana.
They can see it.
Ghana.
Oh, I will
Ghana.
Oh, which one? Okay. Because money transfer. Come go for Fabio and you can remember.
And the Fabio.
Go to assistant where you are. I'm there.
But it's quite interesting. The very same thing you call in the coming days. It's a national global supporters council or more congress no indefinite.
Come back congress.
Yeah, maybe they but that's all to ashada. You ever share the free musu.
I didn't read anything.
Or more your consultation with children.
So I don't buy before.
Almost all differences now.
Internal. They want to fix for now. They come background come by. Enye no ho asem kra come ka so mo mba nka nkofo be na mai eto asem no yese
open ba betra de asenya
ni pa be ba program ase ye say de
it me high na
the bass tribute ye dey jam
demonstration it me dey be say di pare say date no end go so ye po be duade edit na ye de go
we ma teach jam
to program di pa be call the account eto on say issue no so mo ko pie mu chief of staff anim the conflict is between the circles and the global as to the name. No? So now they want to fix it. That the end of the pioneer say it appears that Chairman Solo Bibiojani say so more what Nasana Dean beyond beyond there. On the Juman or Dean beyond beyond Okuta because they didn't know Kofa Bahai. Okay. The Moko Tanasana Moamusas say Yenyan circles are obeying the Juma. Muko Sabanamkas Yenyan Global near Fubianka. So it looks like it's quite interesting. I think documentation is something that should be very critical in every club. Documentation. That's why full be the national position.
That's right. What position be?
Documentation be
ever position be
manager, CEO, international relations. Okay. On say
Oma fobi onu madwumada
na say ukoya ade na enye sara na apeso eno wentimi anya na eso wentimi anya
o ka case ben
say case ya be ho asa
we no
efija semi prevent such incident to say 2% kuranye skaketo because that only 2% in the edeba so we have foot to the board oto asante ko board here be on appointment who be here papa to a picture about bontin say omoko visit team no na mama Evelyn si asari jirem
okay we me wa me go visit
you ride your shop na shehon but
na be Evelyn na Evelyn okan
Evelyn na shop light blue
na down for no shop
okay
on na be church no
oh sa
na be church man.
Oh, okay.
Or a personal assistant and a board secretary.
Oh, sir. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, into Evan Nasamba. On the can Ziba no. Looks like the Operation Ziba out on a successful.
Ziba no there.
Oh, so Operation Ziba out. Okay, there Evelyn can.
Obed. Oh yes, sir. You are insulting the great king. Sir. No. To use that word that is not fair. Before the board will fine, you might not like sorry for that word. But board the was choose by the king. Omufu no hine and the yiwo. Evelyn is on your appointment okotoko. Evelyn waiting sorry for board. So why those words?
Now one man no so anchim. Na say na Oyerepa che. I know we only comment be. There's also this is public radio, ni TV. So Tremu, I ran.
Minimum where Jibo is coming from, and I don't want it to be an exchange.
Okay.
No, Jibo. The point is, Evelyn and was part of the old board, and at the point, Evelyn Kotro said, "Okay, so Ziba statement that the Ziba must be removed."
Not Ziba, no way.
On one name, Evelyn and Ziba. Evelyn name Ziba.
Oh,
so if I said Operation Ziba outer.
Now Operation Ziba, Evelyn yet he's not part of the board. Evelyn was a board member.
And I said she's back.
Or you're part of the board.
No, one by.
And Evelyn one year. Evelyn one year appointment. Evelyn one year appointment. And as they said, Evelyn a casa. Obi owo to me be okotogo bi ati. Is that what you are saying? But that is not fair to
Evelyn. I've seen some names contesting for Koto CEO. Let's get serious for one. I think Siase has some shares in the 25%. Ambon said you go first. So Siase, what is your problem? Go first, Sapon. And now, Kuze, none of them qualify. Now, Mr. Siase is always against Kotoko issues. He always prejudge against Kotoko, on and on and on. Siase, I will check in Simu. And Niamugi, so unfortunately, Niamugi, your comment is not worth here. But Mami,
me to a picture that's some can make a joke to go place. Then as a move team any massipa. Na on the bobo, the two. It's me bobo anyway, as a boy radio. Coach, I'm a answer, and I coach Anyade. But I would not Otina Baba Adakojache, not the BB United, the two. Ebe show 4-1 ewa Adakojache, Bema Boada. Then it becomes a big problem. The problem, everybody say, they be united. Span moya there, so muzo money that top was a day. But I said they be back to training ground, be show for one. A hoyanka coach as him. There's a players in problem. When I'm a players now, so your home meeting. I mean, I don't
normally team the ain't a boy, no seniors now.
I want to go team now, Kasa. And Obia Subobi. Obia and who fit be a booby. Not got to go training on my show for one. Body Subai him to arrest be and will be assaulted. And to a player or Kotoka, you cannot complain. Say be a beating at you.
On one the only board member. Others and Kobe.
Say we know picture your honey.
Okay.
A number.
Okay.
Picture your honey.
But every post is official. An uncle for a suspect.
Maybe I don't know.
Was it can you run out? Say official. Why interview Abuni? That's what I'm saying.
My first meeting now or don't count on there.
But it's not official.
But any position will be critically analyzed.
But it's not official.
Sunday against Nations FC. Kotogo players kwa Sunday born omu here coach. Na di omu ye ya mzutu na nsi di omu ye o de vision for be bodra fine ya te ase coach nya de moko tamale karela shema fine ya te ase coach nya de wa wutu training Ghana de bibia be shew enu so coach
training match
be ma boada be ma boada say that be sometimes uko to circumstances bi mu a ade bo ese wo ye kwa na shem kran na wo to na de bibi United be show for one Sunday omu ni excuse against Nations FC. No, so much me and Nations FC, sir. Send on my Nations FC, dear. Then I say, your mom microphone was stadium. No, check.